Analyst Desk. Welcome to the show. It's the Analyst Desk. Yeah, in case you didn't know, it's the Analyst Desk. Welcome to the show where every day feels like game day, bro.
Hello. It is I, Jacob Moore, the self-proclaimed, critically acclaimed, the one that can never seem to explain sports analyst. And of course, I am joined by Mr. Moore for your money.
And
hello, everyone.
And the man, the myth, the legend, Adam, the GOAT, who I see has a fan in the background.
Jacob, how could you be self-proclaimed and critically acclaimed sports analyst at the same time?
Because that's how I roll, Adam.
I feel like that doesn't make you self-proclaimed sports analyst. That just makes you critically acclaimed sports analyst, Jacob Moore.
How's it going? Welcome back to the desk. In the comment section.
Hello, welcome back.
Adam, not the GOAT. Whoa, you're being called out by Fun Fish, Adam.
I don't know what I did today, but you know what? Maybe I did do something. Is it because Ottawa made the playoffs? Well, I just don't really care at that point. But
how's it going, JP Power from Windsor?
Ottawa made the playoffs.
You know what's really interesting is Jacob and Adam are wearing matching jerseys.
We are really cute.
Oh my God, we are. That's adorable.
Oh,
very
cute.
Adorable.
You are the only
GOAT.
GOAT.
No idea.
Oh, okay, Adam. It's because you're not in your 30s yet.
Yeah, 100%.
You got to become old farts like Dan and I.
No, that's Fun Fish. That's not how it works. I already am. So
let's go tank! Yeah!
Lane, did you just call me a tank? I'm not that big.
Oh, give me a
damn.
And Ontario Secret, absolutely. Big shout out to Joe Bowen, who called his last Leaf home game.
Yeah,
I got mixed up and called him Scotty Bowman instead, one dude, but shout out to Joe Bowen.
Big shout out to Joe Bowen, one of the greatest commentators of all time, and
last ever game on Wednesday.
It would have been nice to see the boys pull out a win for him, but you know they could not do that.
No.
Lane did not. Lane's in the playoffs. Wow, Lane, good for you. Congrats.
Lane's in the play. How did Lane make the playoffs?
I don't know.
What?
Lane playoffs?
Playoffs? Playoffs?
I called
the
it
Raptors for the playoffs
before the preseason started. This team was going to suck and not make the playoffs, and everyone thought I was crazy.
Dan, I have counted the amount of times you've said that. You say that at the start of every. I swear, at the start of every time you talk after we do a Leafs game, you're like, I for the last 3 months, you've been like, oh yeah, guys, I predicted this team was gonna suck.
Hey, I don't have much to go on.
Flowers.
I don't have much to go on. I gotta be proud of something.
Look, and obviously, let's get to some more comments here. But I will say for the Leafs, I thought the Leafs played hard tonight. Actually, I thought this was a good game. You took Dallas to the brink. Nylander 3 points, Nyes 2 assists, Quinlan first goal in the NHL, Johnny T, Max Domi with a goal, Nick Robertson with a goal, and you know what? I also thought again from the kid in net, a couple goals I thought he could have had, but overall I thought it was a pretty decent night.
Mm-hmm.
Joe Bowen made the game sound
very
Habs
fan, and that was
tonight.
Emotional for me. Yeah, I mean Bowman being gone is
I cried.
Yeah, that was a great
kind of a crybaby.
One last game, but great game.
Welcome back, Wilder.
Welcome back, Wilder. Best Leaf. Well, not quite a win, but I would say best Leaf. I guess you mean a win, as if now if Seattle gets at least 1 point, the Leafs are guaranteed to finish in the bottom 5, which does not mean they get the pick. Which I'm not going to get into. I'm not going to get into this.
Yeah,
again.
Remember, Lane, I do want to remind you, if the Leafs do not get their pick back, remember, you can't complain about it. I just want to remind you of that. Our little agreement that you're not allowed to complain if the Leafs don't get their pick.
Seattle's losing 2-0 to the Kings at the moment.
Yay, I guess.
Also, Johnny Wayne Styles, thank you very much for the like. Always appreciate it here at the desk.
Yeah, thank you.
Can't decide if I
at least we have the playoffs in Toronto this year. You know what?
JP Power, I would say, if you really want,
please
you put the election on in mute,
no.
so you still get all the results, but you don't have to listen to them blabber on about nothing. And then you can listen to us blabber on about nothing.
You want to hear us blabber about municipal elections? That sounds boring as heck. I don't want to do that.
Yeah, Ontario Secret, I got to say, as much
boring.
as I joke about Dan crying, it was very emotional to see Bowman's last team.
Oh, it was amazing, but yeah, the election's pretty crazy tonight, so it'll be interesting to see what happens.
And fair enough, Lane. I mean, like I said, either way, Boston gets our first round, whether it's this year or next year. You don't have a TV. Okay.
Yeah,
but JP, do you have a cell phone and a computer? If you do, my tactic still works. But no, I think overall for Toronto, this is going to sound funny. If you're going for the tank, this is kind of what you want. You want a good game. You want to see the team play well and play hard, but at the end of the day, fall short. And that's what happened today. That's not what I wanted personally. Like, look, at the end of the day, I'm not going to cheer for my team to lose. That's just not in my DNA. And you can, before people go on in the comments, you can explain to me all you want why you think I should. I'm just not going to. And like I've said too, there is no Matthew Schaefer in this draft. So for people thinking you get the first overall pick and we win the cup,
Dan, Jacob,
you do know that.
Jacob, and I want to point out, and I'm going to keep saying this, I don't think, well, in my opinion, I won't give it, I think in a base to base, it could be different, but in my opinion, for a lot of the fans who cheer when their team loses because they want them to get a higher draft pick, I'm sorry, I don't really think you're that big of a fan of your own team then. You're cheering on your team to lose. Are you really that big of a fan?
Because I want what's best long term for my team.
No, Dan. Okay, this is the last time I'm going to talk. I'm going to say this. But Dan, you want what's best for your team. The Leafs
long term
this year. Long term. Dan, you got to learn to just listen to my point, Dan.
Okay.
The Leafs. Okay, let's say the Leafs keep our pick this year. So we're going to talk about long-term future. We're going to talk about the future. 27. Where does our pick go, Dan? Where's our pick going? Boston. 27. Boston. Next year. When's our pick going? Where does our pick go? Goes to Philly because we have to give Philly our next year's pick. But that pick is going to Boston. So we got to give. So we lose 2 straight first-round picks. Either way, we lose 2 first-round picks. No matter what happens at the draft lottery, we lose 2 consecutive first-round picks.
Yeah,
but actually. On Phil, next year's pick, if Boston keeps our pick this year, we could actually move that to 28. This year's draft is apparently not even going to be it's not as deep as I think everybody thinks it is. Apparently next year, the next 2 drafts are apparently going to be, or at least next year's draft is apparently supposed to be better. With DuPont coming up, and I think it's next year's, the year after.
That's what I keep saying.
But it's at the end of the day, the Leafs keep the pick. They do. I could care less. But at this point, I don't think keeping the pick is actually any good for anything at this point. I'm just bored of these conversations.
Shout out to Connor here. I'm reading the comment about Philly making the playoffs. I'm so happy Philadelphia made the playoffs. I mean, I remember when we did our halfway, 3/4 way season report, I gave Philadelphia a very, very high mark. Because they didn't do anything crazy in the offseason, but getting Dan Rivardi and getting Christian Dvorak were 2 humongous pieces to his team. And that's what I feel like these other teams should have done. No, they didn't go and get the biggest fish in the sea, but they got a bunch of good little fishies to build a team.
Speaking of
Good job, Philly.
Speaking of fish, and then I'll get to Lane's comment here. Did you know if you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, you assume that fish is stupid?
That's very true. I told my classmates that. They didn't know what I was talking about.
Let's get back to the comment section. And yeah, Lane, I think Joe Bowen inspired a lot of people, right? I mean, 44 years. Congratulations to Bowen. And that's awesome, Lane, that he inspired you, because you, sir, can now inspire the next generation.
Listen!
Game was laughable. Defense. Yeah, I mean, I didn't see any of the Flyers game, but big up to them getting a big 2 points. Honestly, this postseason would not be exciting at all if it wasn't for the Battle of Pennsylvania.
Battle of Pennsylvania.
I will say that is going to be as much as I wanted my Islanders to get in.
Be a fun series.
Which I could go on a rant on why the Islanders didn't get in. I think firing their coach when they did was just idiotic. and it clearly
One last
backfired.
cup for Sid.
Terrible.
One last cup for Sid.
The Leafs will be playing the Belleville Senators. They better win. I mean, who knows at this point? Yankees inning away from being 8-8. Yeah, I mean, this is the thing I've said for Blue Jay fans who are panicking. The Yankees are very streaky. The Jays have a lot of injuries. I still think the division, it's way too early. But that division especially is wide open right now because the Yankees are starting to struggle. I know the Jays are struggling too, but I mean, you have your Savage who's close to getting back. If Springer can just stop hitting his damn foot every time he's at the plate, I swear he does it every game. Like, I like George Springer.
He always on George, bro.
Okay, but Dan, if every single game you're smashing the ball off your foot, you need to change your batting technique.
Maybe you wear steel-toe shoes.
Like, if I was on the podcast and every time I was on here, my webcam flew off the desk and you looked at my feet, then I would need a new webcam.
No, but seriously, I think I have a great idea here. Hi, Anthony. I think if designated hitters don't have to play defense, and if they're going to hit the home runs, they don't have a one fast anyway, why not just wear steel-toe shoes? That way, if the ball hits your foot, there's no problem. I think I just solved all the problem with baseball.
And Lane, I'll address your comment.
I wanted to address this as well, Jacob. But
I will address your comment here, Lane, and I get what you're saying about potentially you don't draft to improve the team quickly. Look, Montreal's a prime example. And as much as I've taken some flack on some of my comments on Montreal, they have done a rebuild perfectly, right? Mm-hmm. I think we can all agree to that. Their rebuild strategy has been great. When you're rebuilding through the draft, you're not trying to be good next year or the year after that. You're looking at a 4 to 5 year plan, minimum. Matthew Schaefer is the anomaly, not the
common denominator.
Thank you. I was going to say useology, and that's not a word, but it is now. And I think that's what Leaf Nation, and I would argue the same thing for other areas. Like I've seen Florida fans say the same thing. I know, Anthony, you have a thing about that we'll get to. And I just think when you look at it, Lane, I understand where you're coming from. You're not the only one who's saying these things. I'm just saying, if you're saying let's build in the draft, then we're in rebuild, not retool. And again, you can't rebuild with Matthews, Nylander, and Riley's contract. And if they all say they want to stay, then you absolutely have to retool. Sure, you can trade that draft pick to potentially get someone, but again, that's a
retool.
It's not that simple.
No, but so Lane, I also wanted to address this, and I'll say this: the fact of the matter is that this is not a quick turnaround. This team is a disaster top. I think that from the way this team has played this season, I think anybody could agree this is not as easy as I think Keith Pelly thinks a retool is going to be. Whether that's a changing in coaching and that helps or not, this team is clearly, like you can see, it's built in between being the quick fire team that it was under Keith and trying to be the hard-nosed hitting team that Berube was trying to build. You were stuck in between the two because this team wasn't fully built one way or another. And obviously this core and this team was better when it was high-octane, fun offense where you were just you're scoring a lot. That was fun. And I had tons of fun watching it. Was it always the best because we got crushed sometimes? No. But it was fun. And I don't think it's as easy as, keeping the pick this year and you trade it and you get, I think this is more so, this is not going to be a quick turnaround to next season anymore. I just don't think that's possible at this point with this team. And if they can turn it around, they turn it around. But I don't think it's as simple as that anymore. And I'm going to keep saying it about the pick. I don't care what happens with the pick. If we keep it, we keep it. Yay, whoop-de-doo. I still think we should trade it. I don't even think we should draft anyone.
Ooh, that's a good idea.
So I was like, I don't think we should keep the pick because there's nobody, like Jacob continues to say, there's nobody crazy up there.
There's no Schaefer, Celebrini, Bedard type player.
If anybody, I was even talking with Jacob. I was talking with Max about this earlier, my coworker. And I was saying one of the players I would draft is not Caden Verhoff, because I think Caden Verhoff is a couple years away. Still, I think he's a brilliant talent, though. Cameron Reed. the United States defenseman who absolutely dominated the World Juniors for the States. It was absolutely phenomenal.
He's close to being NHL ready, for sure.
He was their best. He was one of their best players, and he was great when he was on the ice, and you could tell that they dearly missed him when he got hurt in that tournament for the game or two that he was gone. He was a big miss along with Hudson. And like that, like he would be it because we need a defenseman and we don't need necessarily a forward. I would trade if we get the first or the second. I'm trading that pick. I'm moving backwards, and I'm getting multiple picks. And you try and also get like you have multiple picks, or you have multiple young players or more established players. Like if you're gonna get the one asset of a high pick, you might as well trade it for multiple other assets. And we're gonna talk about future and having a good future, like Dan continues to say about wanting to keep the pick for a good future. Like that would be one thing I do. But again, like it's just at this point, like I don't think trading for like losing a first round pick is losing a first round pick at this point, and it sucks if it's high pick or if it falls out of the lottery magically, because that's even still possible.
Yeah,
you could still like it's a suckish scenario. But again, like I'm gonna say this to all Leaf fans who want what the team has done. I don't want to hear a single complaint. I swear it. Say it along with me. I don't want to hear a single complaint from any of you. If that pick, just Leaf fans. I don't care about anybody else fans right now. Leaf fans, if this pick drops out of the top 5, I don't want to hear a single complaint.
Nah.
When we come on after the draft lottery, I don't want to hear a single human being complain. That's what I'm gonna come on. I'm gonna come on here and I'm gonna tell you exactly what I've been saying. I warned you that it is still possible. Y'all are acting like this is an almost guarantee that the Leafs keep their pick at this point. It's not. It's possible that we lose it, but you can't complain about it because you wanted this exact scenario. You asked for this possible hell that we could take with losing our pick and giving Boston somebody great potentially. Like
at the end of the day, and Dan, don't worry, we will get to comments. I know we have quite a bit to get to.
Yes, Dan.
But I do want to mention too, it was interesting in between them talking about Matt Duchene for half an hour on the Amazon Prime broadcast tonight. They also mentioned you look at a team like Dallas who has really rebuilt their team around second round picks and third round.
Yeah.
Like if anything, if you want to restack the deck of prospects, you trade the first. Let's say Toronto magically wins the lottery, which I don't think probably won't happen. But let's say they do hypothetically. We're in a hypothetical world, and all of a sudden you have this pick of Gavin McKenna or Stenberg or whoever is going to go first. You trade that for maybe 5. You maybe trade that for 3 second round picks, a third round pick, and a prospect. And all of a sudden, you potentially restack the deck for your system to try to rebuild. If you want to rebuild, if you want to retool, you trade that top 5 pick for potentially a roster player or 2. And if you don't get the pick, then at least that way it can be done with. Boston picks who they pick, and it is what it is. Like, we can go back and look at some trades year after year. You look when the Leafs traded Patrick Marleau, that pick turned into Seth Jarvis. I mean, you know what I mean? It could be a different team.
That doesn't mean they pick Seth Jarvis, though.
No, I know, but I'm just saying, like, it's one of those things you made the trade. The majority of people were happy with the Brandon Carlo trade at the time. I wasn't, actually. I was one of the ones in the minority. I thought it was a bad trade. But at the end of the day,
I understood the trade.
It is what it is, and I think you just kind of got to move on. No, I haven't seen the Jazz Chisholm Jr. post-game interview, but I will have to look it up, Funfish.
Don't care about Jazz Chisholm Jr., so.
But maybe it's funny. I'm seeing the
You got
it could be funny, yeah.
You got
let's go Sharks.
Yeah.
Didn't make the playoffs, but I love the progression for them.
We got Anthony's comment too. He was agreeing with you and Adam. You said trade that pick.
We did. We brought that up while Adam was talking about it.
Oh, I know. I'm just saying.
Absolutely, Anthony. And back to Lane Dashing Dashko. Jacob has said, no offense. You believe this team was coached by someone who actually coached. They would have been a playoff team. Honestly, it's not just coach. I said a better coach and less injuries. I think this team is a potential playoff.
Yeah, injuries are a problem.
Which is why, again, if you're going on about this top 5 pick, if you're retooling this Gavin McKenna is not NHL ready. And if you think he's NHL ready, then maybe you got
a year in the AHL could do him some good.
Too. Like he's just not an NHL player. But Lane,
a year in the AHL could really help him out.
But Lane, I do get where you're coming from. Even if we don't agree, I can see your point of view. Maybe, no offense, try to see my point of view and try to understand that whether you give oh my gosh, Dan's in shock. Whether you give up the pick this year or next year, at the end of the day, you're giving up the pick. And again, drafts are to rebuild over 3 to 5, 6, 7 years. It's not to try to win tomorrow. Montreal was that prime example. Even you look at Macklin Celebrini, his rookie year, he wasn't that good. Yeah, now he's one of the best players in the NHL. And the Sharks probably still won't make the playoffs this year, right? So, Johnny Raw Dog Styles.
Yeah, JT of the 6.
We have here, I totally agree with Jacob. Thank you. Well-deserved karma for the Islanders of what they did to Waugh. Yeah, I didn't understand firing Waugh whatsoever because it just didn't make any sense to.
It makes
the John Tortorella one was puzzling to me, but at the end of the day, John Tortorella is a coach that makes a very quick impact because he's vocal.
Wait, no, sorry, not Dan. Jacob. So, what don't you understand about the Waugh? Okay, wait. It's not more about the Waugh firing. It's who they hired. I think that's where you're losing it. It's not.
Pete DeBoer is a great coach, but he is not a coach that's going to fix the team in 2 weeks. But he's not a light a fire under your ass and win now. He's a rebuild in the offseason, have a good training camp, be good next year. So they should have let Patrick Waugh finish the year and then go to DeBoer, because I think Waugh would have given them a better chance to make the playoffs now. That's
Jacob, I see. No, Jacob, you're not. So I see what's going on here. You actually don't understand why they hired him. You don't actually get it at all. No, I don't think you do, because then you wouldn't be giving that explanation. Pete DeBoer was brought. The reason they fired Waugh to bring in DeBoer had nothing to do with this season. Zero to do with what?
I know.
Zero to do with the ending of this season. It had everything to do with just getting him. Like nothing to do at all with this season. So your explanation is like,
but it's not like anyone else is going to hire him tomorrow. So it didn't make any sense.
No, but it made sense in the case that I think with everything going on, especially with the GM situation, everybody jumping to try and get like interviewing Sonny Mehta, like it's not even the end of the season yet, and they've already requested to 2 teams, the Devils, who I think he's going to. I think he's going to the Devils. He used to work there. He was a Devil fan growing up. He's from New Jersey. Like I don't think he's coming to Toronto. But like, I
think Jason Spezza.
But yeah, the reason he was brought in, Spezza, I think Haley Wickenheiser is going to be a dark horse for that job. I think especially since, and I told Max this earlier, I think if Steve Yzerman, I don't think he'll get fired, I think Steve Yzerman is more than likely to go to president of hockey ops. And then somebody is going to get promoted into the GM of Detroit, if anything. But if Yzerman gets fired for whatever reason this summer, which I don't think will happen, I would gladly take Yzerman, put him as president of hockey ops, which I think he'll be amazing. I think he'll be great at that job.
I hope not.
And then you bring in him, and then you hire either you take Spezza and put him in as GM, bring him back and put him as GM. Or you promote Haley Wickenheiser, or you bring in, I don't know who else you could bring in, but I think it'd be good to bring in an experienced GM, a guy who knows what he's doing in this league. Now, despite what has happened in Detroit, I think Steve Yzerman knew what he wanted to do. It didn't work out, but Steve Yzerman is still a very good GM. He is good at what he does. And I think as a president of hockey ops, I think he could do a good job of like cultivating and like helping Jason Spezza, or if it's somebody else who has never done the job before by themselves, Haley Wickenheiser, whoever it is, I think they could do a good job of helping that person guide that person through their first season.
Oh, for sure. Steve Yzerman's a brilliant man. As a Marlin fan, this is why I wasn't getting hyped with this great start, because I know how they'd get by the deadline. We're going to be a 500 or below. Yeah, I mean, baseball's such a long season, right? It's really difficult to. I mean, I think you can potentially lose a division in April. I don't think you can win a division in April.
No,
right?
I don't think so.
So even if it's like when everyone went on about the Yankees when they went 7-1, they did win today. I saw in the comment section 11-10. But I mean, going into that, they had lost 5 straight, right?
That's
Baseball
right,
with playing so many days, you'll go a 7-day week and play 5 or 6 games. So you're gonna have a lot of ebbs and flows. But yeah, absolutely. I mean, hopefully your Marlins can figure it out again and get back on the winning side. But we have a gas or ass in the comments. You know what that means? It's time to see everyone and donkey butt. Gas or ass? Do the Blue Jays end the road trip above 500? Fun Fish is saying ass to his gas or ass. They're on a road trip, so he's saying, do you think they'll get to a 500 record? Or will the Blue Jays?
When's the road trip done? How am I supposed to know when the road trip's done?
It's like a 2-week road trip.
Okay, that doesn't help me at all. I don't even know when they started this road trip.
Tomorrow.
Jacob, I don't pay this enough attention. I don't pay enough attention.
Well,
they're going on it? They're about to go on it?
Yeah, so let's take a look.
So they're not on it. They're not on anything right now. They haven't played yet on the road trip.
They're starting it.
Oh, no, they were just in Minnesota, weren't they? Okay.
No, the Minnesota ones were in Toronto. So, okay, you got the Brewers.
They're starting it tomorrow.
Yeah, the Brewers.
Okay.
And the Diamondbacks on this mini road trip.
Okay.
I'm personally, if you mean, are they going to be at least 500 for the road trip? I will say gas. I don't think they will finish the road trip over 500. So I would say ass. Key is saying ass. What? They're going to lose the rest. My gosh, I don't think they're going to lose the rest of the season, Key. But, I do honestly think, Lane, I have not skipped your comments. We are going to get to them. Don't you worry, you little grasshopper.
I'm still so confused on the question, Jacob, because the way you just answered it confused me.
I'm going to say, I'm really confused. I'm not going to make it confusing. I'm going to make it simple. I'm saying gas. I think the Jays need a break from home, and I think they can get on the road, get vibing together, start building as a team, because teams really build on road trips, right? They went on a mini road trip for one series, but this is the first time we have a 2-week road trip in the season. And you got a lot of new players on the team. You lost Bull Bassett, so I think this is a good time to build the chemistry and build the vibe, and I think they're going to go over 500 on this road trip.
So, Adam, let's just say this. Do you think the Jays will
confused.
Play the road trip? They have 9 games on the road trip. Do you think they'll at least win 5 of them?
Thank you, Jacob, after you confused the hell out of me with your answer. Who are they playing? They're playing Brewers, and who's the other team?
Brewers, I have no idea. Diamondbacks, and Angels.
They're going to go exactly 500.
Well, they can't go over.
Oh man, they're going to lose half games. They're going to lose a half game, Jacob. They're going to go half and half on a game. I don't know what's going to happen. I was trying to give like, Jacob, you ruined all my fun. And so I'm going to blame you for that. So they're going to go 4.5 and 4.5. That's what's going to happen. They're going to win half a game and going to lose half a game. That's my answer. I don't know. I guess I'll say they'll go 500, hopefully. Nah. That conversation was so long ago. I have no idea what we
Lane, I will address
We didn't say you say rebuild.
I didn't say you said rebuild. But all I'm saying is, and I'll get to the rest of your comments, Lane, don't worry, but to retool, you don't retool through the draft. I understand the Islanders did it, so everyone's looking at that as the example. But I'd like you to go back. Even Pittsburgh and Washington didn't make the playoffs their first years. They drafted Crosby and Ovechkin. And those are generational players. Chicago is still bad, and Connor Bedard is a generational player. The San Jose Sharks are still not good. And Macklin Celebrini is a generational player. I do agree with you, Lane, that I think with better coaching plus the injuries not happening, this team is probably a playoff team. And I will get to a lot of comments. I know there's a lot of people saying otherwise on that, and Lane, I get you say it. You think I've said it a million times, and I have said that I do think the coaching was a big issue. I just don't see how rebuilding in the draft is how you do it. But Lane Dashco wants to fight me in virtual land.
Well, I just had to come on because I feel like I'm talking to a wall. Maybe my comments are addressing what I'm trying to say. Jacob, you think I'm fighting against you? I'm literally agreeing with you, bro. All I said was that, like, hey, man, I get like this season's kind of been whatever it is, but here's all. I'm not trying to fight with you guys. I'm saying, like,
I'm kidding.
If you don't think the draft is good, you know how much stuff you can get for a top 5 pick. Like, the reason why I want it so bad, even if you don't use it, like, you can, like, my point is, like, okay, this season was a bust in like January. So the reason I was on this whole like just get it is because I get you're gonna have to give up 2 years, but you're gonna lose 2 or 3 years anyways. Whether it's let me finish. You're gonna lose 2 years no matter what years it is, right? Whether it's this year, next year, or not this year, that next year, you're gonna lose 2, 3 no matter what you do. So all you can do now, because it's done, we can't fight about what deals are made and who gets what now and what gets who. All I was trying to say was, if you don't believe there's nothing there, then maybe try to trade the pick for Jason Robertson's rights or something. Like, I don't know, get creative, get something good. Try to do something creative. Bring the right president in that can make a big splash this summer. Be like, hey, we'll trade the top 5 pick for Jason Robertson's rights. You guys can't re-sign him. We'll give you the top 5 pick. We'll sign Jason Robertson. All of a sudden, now you got Matthews, Jason Robertson, Easton Cowan. Then you bring in some top free agents, and all of a sudden you're a playoff team. And then those next 2 years of picks are 31st and 31st picks. So then it's like, oh wait, we lost 2 picks, but they were crappy picks anyways.
Totally
that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
Totally.
Lane, I did see you offered me a deal, and I'm not going to take it. I can't agree to do anything with agree to not complain about something or admit that you're right about something until we have the pick. I'm not going to.
True.
No. So we already made a deal, and that deal doesn't go until the draft lottery night. So that's 2 months away, at least.
Yeah.
But like, I will agree to that deal if the Leafs have their pick. The Leafs have the pick. I will agree to the deal if the Leafs have the pick.
That's
My
fair.
other thing is, you brought up that picks could be late, but giving up a first-round pick is giving up a first-round pick. It doesn't matter what position it is. You're giving up a first-round pick no matter what.
No, I know, but...
And it's been proven time after time again that late first-round picks could work out perfectly fine. And it's like, I get what you're saying, though, Lane. I understand what you're saying and everything. I actually don't even like the Jason Robertson deal you brought up, because I don't like that, because I feel like you gave up more for a top 5 pick than just Jason Robertson.
No, I get that. That's what I'm saying, though. But that's what I'm saying. Like, okay, if we don't believe that this draft is good, like, I can't stay on long because I'm at my mom's. She's trying to do some work. But all I'm saying is, if we don't believe that this draft is good, right? Like, everyone's looking at this draft like it's not that deep, it's not great. Maybe we can go to a team that like wants that pick and be like, hey, why don't you give us a top line winger or someone on your top 2 that has 40 points or something?
Hey, I think this is a new viewer, so welcome to Videx. And we've gained 1 new subscriber, so hopefully that was you. But if it wasn't yet, please subscribe to the channel. We love this roundtable discussion
to our channel.
And I want to thank all the loyal viewers that have been commenting.
But I gotta go, boys. I'll be on the comments.
Interrupt you, Lane.
Love
Sorry, Lane. Love you too. For everyone that's commenting, liking, and sharing, thank you so much, everyone. Really appreciate it.
And yeah,
but Dan, you're just completely interrupting Lane's point.
I didn't mean to. I'm sorry. Yeah,
it was worth it. But because we got to always introduce the new
stop
viewers.
Plugging.
But
no matter
Lucky, I will say, I actually, as much as I think this team can retool, I get where you're coming from.
Crazy in 6 to 7 years.
I'm saying though, if you want to rebuild through the draft, this comment's 100% right.
It is 100%. It'll take Zach long.
So Dan, actually, you haven't got too much in here yet because it's been a lot of heated debates here. Dan, what do you think about this? Like, I know you said this team can't retool. I've heard you say that to me before.
Yeah.
So, do you want the pick now, or hear me out before you go like blah, blah, blah. Do you want 2 more years of this crap where you are desperately trying to find first round picks?
I want the pick right now. Okay. I want it now. You know, sometimes it's got to bite the bullet and do it. It's like slowly taking the Band-Aid off or ripping the Band-Aid off. You know, no such thing as a retool. And I totally agree with his comment. I feel like we've been retooling for the past 8 years or so. And like every time, you know, we add a fourth liner, we add a defenseman, we add a mediocre goalie. And it's like, no, like these guys had a legitimate almost a decade, okay? These guys have had almost a decade to get it done and didn't get done. So no more retooling, we build. And I get this going to suck for the fans. I get it could suck with some season tickets and stuff. But you know what? Mostly people who own the season tickets to Leafland are corporate anyway. So whether they lose or not, they're still going to show up. They're still going to buy the seats. And even in a rebuild era, still going to have some really fun, great, exciting moments. Look at our rookie year with Matthews. They didn't make the playoffs the rookie year, but he still had a 40-goal year. You still had great plays like Connor Brown and Mitch Marner and Zach Hyman and William Nylander. It was still a fun, exciting year. And it'll still be great, entertaining hockey.
They did make the playoffs that first year. They lost to Washington in 6.
Oh, that was the second year, but could be
that was the first.
Okay, but anyway, I'm sorry. But I think that's the way to do it.
All right, guys, quickly here. Who do you think is better, Jordan Romano or Jeff Hoffman?
Boy.
I mean, Romano wasn't traded for his pitching, but I mean, you know, not that was actually completely proven what happened there either, but I don't want to get in the politics of it. But
then why bring it up?
I think I'm just reminding people why he was traded.
Jacob.
I'm
gonna say, want to get into it. Don't bring it up.
I actually think Jordan Romano was better than Jeff Hoffman, but I don't think Jeff Hoffman's as bad as everyone goes on he is.
Yeah, I think that's a fair statement. You know, I think Jeff Hoffman, I feel bad for him. I think he's in a weird middle spot right now. I think he's a very high quality relief pitcher. Maybe not in a dynasty closer pitcher. Yeah, I think he's a good closing pitcher, but I don't think he's quite in the franchise closing pitcher. But I do like him. I think he's a really good guy, and I think he's just going to keep getting better and better. Yankees won. The Yankees did not lose.
How's it going, Rick?
Hey, Rick from Hamilton Sports Central. What up, Rick? How was the Raptors game? I saw you and Richard were just there, so that's pretty sweet in the box and everything you guys saw. But shout out to Rick and Hamilton Sports Central. If you want some more great CFL talk and you want to hear all the updates on the AHL Islanders situation that's moving to Hamilton, definitely check out Hamilton Sports Central. And keep your eye open through this whole CFL season of the CFL Fights Cancer Walk, as both Rick and I will be walking and will be supporting it.
Dan,
so let's go.
I think you have Rick in a bottle. Because it's Rick from Hamilton Sports Central.
Honestly, wasn't playing. Hello.
Rick, is that a new haircut, Rick?
Oh, look at that, dude.
So here's the thing, Adam, and I'll be honest with you. With me turning 40 next month, when my hair gets long, it goes white like yours. So I have to get it cut.
Yeah.
Every 2 months. Can we talk about the Raptors making the playoffs?
Save my beard here. I gotta save every week now.
First off, one thing I will show this one time and one time only.
Okay.
Only for Jacob and Dan.
I love the jersey though, Rick.
I think it's some Fords, I believe.
No, that's I think a Dutch jersey. That's
so those that go to Grey Cup this year, this will be an auction gift.
Oh,
that's the ball!
I saw that on your story.
That's the ball. I want that ball.
This is signed by Chad Kelly and Ralph. Is it
Ralph Hawley?
Yesterday at the Raptors game.
Wow, that's cool.
But anyway,
stay updated with the CFL Fights Cancer Walk. They do a great auction as well to raise money. So many things going on there. And I know, Rick, you'll always keep us updated.
I just wanted to give my 2 cents about your whole Toronto fiasco.
Yeah, for sure.
The disaster.
So I feel for you fans right now because with me being a new Islanders fan, we won 6 games after the Olympics. and then shit the bed since then.
That's tough.
So,
ow.
So my thing is, you have to go youth instead of going old, because everyone's doing this data, whatever you want to do it, call it
analytics.
Yes, and if you don't do data analytics, you ain't getting nothing.
That's why it is the Analyst Desk.
Yeah, well that's why what's his face? Keith Pelly wants to hire somebody who's like analytic.
He basically wants to hire Kyle Dubas
for the GM. Yeah,
I will say though,
we already had him, buddy. We had him, then we lost him.
I will say those seats yesterday were chef's kiss.
Oh, they looked amazing, bro.
They looked awesome.
So it's basically so my buddy Rich had Seasons. Is that a golden football? What, the one that I showed?
Just the way the lighting was hit.
No,
it's white and blue.
No, it's not golden. No,
it's Argo.
It has all of the years that they've won. Yes, I did come in here to troll.
Fair enough.
But yeah, no, because after the whole fiasco that happened on social media, which turned out to be a joke, I'm like, I'll just donate it to the CFL Fans Fight Cancer. But anyway, so a friend of mine. Oh, buddy, I've been ready for CFL since CFL ended.
Exactly.
That's same with Jacob. Jacob would shut up about the CFL every day.
So here's the thing that I will roast Toronto for.
Roasted.
Is Hamilton brings in the free agents and they do an autograph session.
Yeah.
Where do you see that from Toronto?
They
want to bring in fans and that you need to do that.
I agree with you 100%. You know, I'm taking people that don't know, I'm taking sports and entertainment event marketing at Seneca, and we talk about all the time how the Argos can market their team better. And that's one thing we look at.
Also, my way of thanking the Analyst Desk, I have some interesting things to break to you guys.
Ooh, yeah.
So first off, Adam, I don't know if you've seen it, but you are invited to the CFL preseason gala barbecue.
Nice.
So is Lane, so is Dan, and so is Jacob.
Let's go! Road trip!
Hint, hint, wink, wink, my 40th barbecue party.
Yeah.
So, me being the nice guy that I am, end of April, I am getting the analyst tickets on me for the home opener.
Whoa!
Wow!
Thank you.
Nice.
Let's go!
Nice.
Hamilton Sports Central.
It's coming up to your birthday, but we're getting the gift.
Yeah.
But the thing
You have
is,
a big party.
that game is 2 weeks after the Ticats preseason game.
Yeah.
We're talking the Thursday home opener.
Wow.
Montreal versus Hamilton.
Oh my God,
round
Jacob,
2.
No, Jacob, don't do that. Don't do that. No, please stop. Please stop. Do you know what's tomorrow, though, Jacob? Do you know it starts tomorrow? Oh my! Stop doing that. That is creeping me out.
How do I do
you know what's tomorrow? Do you know what's tomorrow, Jacob?
Tuesday.
Well, it's just. Well, it is. It is Tuesday.
It's definitely not
the
hump
NBA.
Day, so we know that that's not tomorrow.
The NBA playoffs. NBA playoffs start tomorrow.
So
it's the play-in tournament. So it's not really the playoffs just yet, but it's the play-in.
So the funny thing is, you bring that up, Adam. So I was talking to MLSE executives.
Yeah.
The actual thing yesterday. Had the Raptors have lost, Orlando won, Toronto would be in the play-in.
Yeah.
Tomorrow.
Oh my God! Yeah, they would have been. Yeah. that was the most unlikely scenario that could have happened. Was Orlando blowing it against like basically a G League Boston team? Yeah. Like, it was one of the most random scenarios ever, and it ended up happening. And I just want to say, like, Raptors in, honestly, better that they won and then Orlando lost, because I think the Raptors have a better chance of actually going deeper in this series against the Cavs than they did against the Knicks. They have sucked against the Knicks.
I have a question for you guys. NBA question. So I've seen this Oh, what the heck is it? You know that Desk?
We'll get to your gas
Shaq Barkley.
Oh yeah.
Used to be on TNT. Did you see their thing the other day, Adam? They were talking about like things to stop teams from tanking.
Yeah,
because like yesterday, you had the Nets only play 8 people out of a full roster.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
So they said one of their suggestions was if you are going to tank and you miss the playoffs, you cannot raise your ticket prices next year.
Oh, that's brilliant. So smart. That's actually really smart.
Yeah.
Utah did the same thing.
No matter what league you're in.
I think Utah versus the Grizzlies, I think it was. The Grizzlies had a guy who went on an absolute tear and then took him out and played like 6 players the rest of the game. It was absolutely ridiculous. Like the Jazz blew out the Grizzlies, and 3 players in the same game had a triple-double. Do you know how insane that is? That is like the first time that's ever happened with 3 players, 2 players on the same team, 1 on the other team, had a triple-double all in the same game. Insanity.
After Toronto was up by a bunch of points yesterday, they decided to play the 3rd string people with like 3 minutes left. Like,
that sounds about right. That's a slap in the face right there. That's brutal.
But let's get to Anthony's gas or ass here. And don't worry, everyone, we will get to your comments. We've just had a lot of really great discussions tonight at the Analyst Desk.
Yeah. I just want to talk about the NBA.
By the time both Matt and Brady retire, referencing the Kachuk,
at least a bit brutal.
They have more Stanley Cups, and their father gets inducted. First ballot. Don't take Keith till the second ballot.
He was.
I'll say I don't think Keith Kachuk's the first ballot Hall of Famer.
No, he was saying Keith was a second ballot. That's what he's saying.
I don't think Matt or Brady will be first ballot Hall of Famers either.
Wait, how many cups did Keith win? Keith didn't win any. Did Keith win any cups? I don't remember. I don't know how many he won.
I'm gonna say ask to your comment, Anthony, just because I don't particularly think that either Matt or Brady are really. If they continue to do what they've done, I don't think they're first ballot Hall of Famers. They're good players. They're probably Hall of Famers. Especially Matt. I don't know about Brady right now. Actually, Brady's not a Hall of Famer right now if his career continues the trajectory it's going. Matt is. And I don't think they're first ballot. I think first ballot are like the best players of their era. And I don't think you can see either one of them were the best player of their era.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to say gas.
Remember, Dan said Sean Avery should make the Hall of Fame.
I don't personally like the Kachuk brothers all that much, but take a personal bias out of it. What they have done, not for exactly the game of hockey, but what they've done for American hockey, is pretty huge.
No. One can't count or spell, so that doesn't really.
Yeah, one can't.
By your logic, then Jordan Eberle's a first ballot Hall of Famer because what he's done for Team Canada and hockey.
He should be because it's not the NHL Hall of Fame; it's the Hockey Hall of Fame.
But Jordan Eberle's not a first ballot Hall of Famer. He's a great player, but not a first ballot. Hi, Adam.
So Keith is not in the Hall of Fame.
Hold this horse.
Shut up! I'm gonna have to just tell you both to shut up. Jeez, you guys are both bloody annoying. Keith Kachuk's not in the Hall of Fame. Yeah, he's not. Okay, Dan, your comment was bloody ridiculous, and you need to stop. That was. They have done nothing for U.S. hockey. Done zero for. They've done nothing.
They put it on the map. Everyone talks about it.
They have not. Dan, if you want to talk about people who put U.S. hockey on the map,
that's Hamilton or Canada being garbage.
We're talking 1980 Miracle on Ice, which is funny because they need to win. Dan, Jacob, mute Dan. Dan, just mute him. Just mute Dan. Dan, mute yourself. Do something so you don't interrupt me. 1980 Miracle on Ice. They didn't even win a Olympic gold winning that game. They just beat a team to make the Olympic gold medal game, but that put them on the map. Madonna, you could say, put U.S. hockey on the map, being one of the greatest American. Patrick Kane, like Brady and Keith Kachuk are the last players that come to mind about putting Team USA on the map from those Olympics. Carter Hollebuck, I would say. Jack Hughes scored the goal. Neither Kachuk brother was even on the ice for that goal. None of them did anything really
better than both Kachuk brothers in that.
Like, it's absolutely ridiculous. Both of them, Matthew's probably going to make the Hall of Fame because he won 2 cups. Brady Tkachuk would be an absolute joke to make the Hall of Fame right now. Keith Tkachuk should have been in the Hall of Fame, but he has still failed to make it. He is in the U.S. Hockey Hall of Fame, but he should be in the Hockey Hall of Fame. But again, I'm not surprised because he did throw one of the most infamous hits in NHL history. So again, not exactly surprising that he's been left out given his history. Okay, you can go, Rick. Sorry, that was my tangent.
I just mean currently, right? I mean, in the past year, they've really put the U.S. on the map. I get the 1980s and everything, but that's just my opinion.
You know what they put the USA on the map for?
What?
The most bitching from an NHL player in my life.
Yeah. I
basically
agree.
Sean Avery with more talent, which then again, Dan thinks Sean Avery's a Hall of Famer.
No, he thinks he's a first ballot Hall of Famer. Not just a Hall of Famer, a first ballot Hall of Famer.
I think this is about the Blue Jays, by the way. I think we'll lose the rest of the whole season. Clearly way better.
Jeez.
Wow. You know what? I will say there are a lot of Jays
take on the
players
Jays.
I'm currently disappointed in. I think Dalton Varsho has been borderline useless defensively this year. I think George Springer needs to learn to stop hitting his foot. Like, I swear every game. And I mean, I feel for the guy that he fractured his toe. Like, I do actually. Like, and I like Springer. I think he's a good player. But everyone's acting like he's batting 400 and it's going to be such a hard thing to replace. George Springer is below average this year. Right. And like, I think for the Jays, they just need to go back to stop trying to hit it out of the park every hit and just try to get base runners and start converting with the bases loaded. I think they've only got 2 runs this year when the bases are loaded. You clean some things up, you can very well get back in the season. Plus, Trey Savage is close to returning. He's about to have a rehab start with 70 pitches, so I think he's close. You get Savage back. I think this is a different team with Savage and Bieber back in the team, and that's no disrespect to these other guys. Scherzer clearly is not healthy. Lawler, I keep calling him Kenny Lawler. I want football back. Lawler clearly isn't healthy either. And like Gosman's looked really good, and the bullpen for the most part has looked good. I think if you just get some starters back, stop realizing it doesn't matter how you get your runs as long as you get them, I think this team can still be good. Yeah, like look, when you look at the division, which we can look at those division stats, I mean, it's not like the Jays are anywhere near out of this yet. Right? So that's all I mean. Mickey, I do understand your frustration, though. I do want to say that. Like, I get your frustration. Like, I watched the 8-run 1-inning game with Eric. There we go. I'm just going to call him Eric. And
you can't even say his last name.
I want
struggle
football.
for you, Jacob.
Isn't it Lair?
Hey,
isn't it Eric?
Lair? It's Lair. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Lair.
No, it's not Lair.
Maybe, Lair.
I can't see them beating the Brewers, but the next two.
Question for you, Jacob. Did they not start slow last year and then they came out of nowhere?
Yeah.
They did.
At one point, they were 24-25 last year.
Listen,
they were not great last season.
As long as we're not the White Sox from last year, I'm good.
Yeah.
Where they're like dead last, they had like 100 and some odd losses. But to get Jacob all happy for the season coming up, I have this to show. So this has actually been signed by every player within the last probably 2-3 years.
Wow,
every player
that is
on that
so
team.
cool.
Oh,
and this
really
is still going to be signing this.
That's sweet.
Until I cannot fill up any more spots.
Yeah, literally, it's chock full. Chock full.
Oh, that's
that is so cool.
This is going to be framed in the man cave once it's done.
Oh, I bet. That's so cool.
You know what I realized, though, this year about the Blue Jays? I sound like Dan. Because Dan last year, the Jays are gonna go all the way to the World Series, and I said he was off his rocker. And
Jake,
apparently he wasn't off his rocker. So Dan, I know Dan doesn't drink Kool-Aid. So Dan, I drank some of your root beer, and I think the Jays can turn it around this year. I
think they can too. I really do.
But Jacob, we gotta speed run these comments, man. You're like,
I know. That's why I did throw in the comment section. We will get to your
Jacob,
comment.
speed run them. Speed run the comments. Let's go.
I have a question. I have a big. What if the NHL allowed the Panthers to draft Ovechkin the year before? Oh man, my God.
Oh yes, I saw that because it was a leap. Well, there was a leap year when Ovechkin was born between 0 and 18. So if the leap year counted, he would have went in that year.
Okay, wait.
To Florida.
When is Ovi born? Wait. When was Ovi born?
Wasn't 80.
Okay, so Dan, look it up.
Before that.
Okay, so that doesn't count. Dan, do you not know what a leap year? So you have to be born on February 28th. Yeah, but like October isn't a part of the leap year. Dan.
I understand that.
It's February 28th, which is the day that disappears.
It more to do with the
lockout. Him not being born on February 28th means that loophole was like.
I'm not saying
they're trying to do. No,
I'm not going to go. I was going to say something, but I'm not going to say it.
But like the loophole that they tried to use would have worked if he was born in February. But because they tried to do it when he was born in October, I don't think that's why the NHL almost immediately shut it down. I respect them for trying to continue to do it for like the rest of the draft. They just kept trying to draft Ovi. It was I read it. It was like the funniest thing in the world to me. But like, I don't know. It was a nice little try, and I think Ovi would have. I don't want to say it necessarily would have set them. I don't think it necessarily sets them back, but I also don't think it. I think they go kind of like how Washington did, which was they were all right. I think Florida was actually around where the Capitals were when they drafted Ovi, anyways. But I don't think it really would have.
I love this comment. By the way,
I don't think they draft Barkov, and like they don't. I don't think everything that happened, like without them drafting Ovi, necessarily happens still the same. You know what I'm saying? But this is so true. That's so true. Anthony.
I was gonna say, Jacob, that comment that you just had up, that's every Argo fan right there.
Yeah.
Their team doesn't perform.
Yeah.
What isn't I think the big I want to say that about Argo fans. I think the differences of Argo fans versus other Leaf fans or other Toronto sports team fans, the Argos find a way to consistently bring in championships. And that's
but that could also be why they're so bipolar sometimes, Jake.
Yeah, it is because it's like last year when they had such a terrible year. It's like we've been so good the last few years, but it's like, look, you're going to have a bad year in between all that. But I mean, it's more interesting, and we won't talk into this today. But I mean, the whole Chad Cowie thing saying he still wants to make it to the NFL. I'm kind of like, oh brother.
Oh my god.
Yeah, Jake, we're like an hour back. We're going an hour back on comments that don't even matter anymore. Her comments we were talking about.
Toronto sports is a lose-lose even in a win. Yeah, I agree with that.
And
are you ADD?
ADD, Jacob. Good try with the joke.
I have issues, not ADD. I have a cerebral palsy.
Dan, they want a musical. Sing for the people.
By winning. Hey. I don't know.
Well, that's enough of that.
That was good. That was good, Dan. That was lovely singing.
Jacob, what are your thoughts? We did get to your gas or ass there, Anthony. I apologize. I know we're way behind in comments. We have a lot of great conversation. Okay. I got to get into Key's angry voice. Jay's players don't want to hit the ball when it matters at all. They don't want to pitch when it matters at all. I just want these guys when it's so unendurable to them about winning.
Jacob, why does Key sound like you when she's angry? That's weird. She sounds exactly like you. That comment, like I feel like you had to do it in a girl voice.
Wings in the hammer. Let's go.
That does sound like Lane JP Power, actually. That's funny. That does sound like Lane. That does.
That's hilarious.
I know the UFC message was for Lane, but still I wanted to fight for your right to party.
I'm gonna discuss a comment that Fish made. Go up to 11:18.
Oh, thank you.
I'm gonna discuss.
Well, the exact time too, Rick. I love that.
Well, because So here's my thing. Okay, so think about it. Raptors won in 2019. TFC won what?
2019, I think. No, 2017. Okay. 2017, sorry, was the year they won.
Leafs haven't won since 63, so their time is going to eventually come around. Jays haven't won since 93, so their time's going to come around. It's just another day. Unless your team wins, it's just another boring day in Toronto with all team sports.
I think that's fair, actually, because I think a team can lose and still. I think the team can not win a championship and still have a good season.
Yeah. By the way, Adam, what the HE double hockey sticks are you wearing?
We're wearing the same thing. It's the Argos and Dave.
Well, I could be wearing my another jersey I have, but that team lost today, so I don't want to wear that because they were horrendous for me.
FYI, today, I told Lane that we're outnumbered the Ticat home game. So there's you three plus Connor. Oh, what's my wing spot in the Hammer? Oh,
good question.
I have two. Are you talking sit down restaurant or are you talking like takeout?
I think he's talking sit down, sit your butt at a
So
table.
sit down. What the heck did it? Sit down would be Wingporium.
Okay.
You can actually go there. And you can get a rack of ribs and a pound of wings for like $16.
Wow. That's a good deal.
I think it was. If I'm doing takeout, I got to go with Red Rockets.
We haven't tried either one.
Well, now you have something to try.
So anyways, I was going back to my comments.
Video of Bob and the Panthers. Yeah, I thought that was great, by the way. Went off the ice, finished the game. Bob went to the locker room and brought him back out. Yeah, I thought that was awesome.
Yeah,
and big shout out to Jonathan Quick playing his last NHL game of his career.
Job.
Amazing career from Jonathan Quick.
Oh, yes.
But sorry, Rick, go ahead. I just wanted to get to that comment there as well.
For the home opener, we have me and Lane, you three. We have Connor. So me and Lane are outnumbered by
21.
Right. Oh, by the way, Jacob, I meant to ask you.
Hi.
Did you watch that video I sent you the other night?
Yes.
What video was that? Now I want to know what it is.
Adam, I gotta send it to you because I don't want it. I don't want it to show on here. So just to give a kind of a backstory to it, the day that that had to have been 3 years ago. I lost my marbles on Orlando Steinhauer of the coaching staff.
Oh boy,
I basically stood by the entrance and I said, listen here, enjoy the unemployment line.
Yeah.
You piece of
sugar.
Oh, Adam, I gotta send you the video. You see me in my raincoat and
it's great.
People have said that's the best. Like they've never seen me pissed off in my life. That's the part. Like what was it, Jacob? You asked who was going to be the biggest Ticat fan between me and Lane. I think that
answers it.
Well, no, Dan, I always want to know who's Dan's favorite Ticat fan because he said it was you, Rick.
Oh.
But what do we think here, guys? What's sadder, Buck retiring or Joe Bowen? For me, it's Joe Bowen just because I grew up watching more Leaf games and Jays games. Oh, but if you ask a diehard Jay fan, he's going to give you the other answer.
Speaking of Buck Martinez, if you go to the Jays game on the 29th of August,
my birthday,
Buck Martinez bobblehead day.
Oh,
you have to line up on Dan's birthday to get one.
If you think me standing out there, so the whole story behind that bobblehead, which
I like the Sens ticket pricing much more. Yeah, the Senators are much cheaper to go to a game than the Leafs.
So I would say Joe Bowen, but that's just because I watch more Leaf games than I did Jays games when I was growing up anyways. I will always remember Joe Bowen's call when the Leafs Penguins last game of the season, when the Leafs clinched the playoffs for the first time in 3 or 4 years. In 16-17. Oh my gosh, that was an awesome day.
Oh, there's the Springer bobblehead.
Oh, that is sick.
So I actually gates didn't open till 5. I got there about 2. I stood line at 2:30. When people got there, probably I want to say 5 4:30. 4:30 was the cutoff point for the bobbleheads, because I went somewhere where there's no one in line. So this is the George Springer, and this is the night that they gave him the what the heck is it? The Silver Slugger trophy.
Yeah.
And usually on the boxes they have like discounts if you spend so much money. Today only. But the Buck Martinez one, I can guarantee you, if you're not there like super early, you ain't getting one.
I love how nobody's brought up that today Canada announced their U18 men's pre-tournament camp roster.
Ooh.
Today. And I do want to point out, the first time I saw the roster, I got so confused because I completely forgot that Mr. Landon DuPont is still currently playing in the playoffs for Portland is where he plays. I completely forgot about it. Yes, that is so true. That's so true. And like I was so confused because I'm like, where the heck is Landon DuPont? But Kaden Verov's there, but like Carson Carls is in there, which I thought was interesting. I don't know if he's eligible to play though. If he was eligible to play or not.
Oh,
but,
Dan, you're being summoned.
Yeah.
Make train noises.
Make train noises.
Choo choo.
Thomas the Tank Engine's a very useful engine, you know.
And as Ontario Secret pointed out earlier in the comments, it is Locomotive Day tomorrow.
Oh.
Also, if people ask about Lane's voice, he was doing play-by-play for 8 hockey games yesterday.
Yeah. Oh,
So
Jacob,
his
how
voice-
was that? I don't know if I'm asking you
it
on
was-
air how that was.
It was
The
terrific.
rest of the day.
Great time.
The rest of the day was terrific.
It was.
I don't believe you, and I'm gonna grill
I
it
believe
about
me.
you when we get
The
off.
question of the day is Mad Max starting in the rotation once the main pitchers. He's bullpen. He's bullpen.
He's probably
nothing
going
against
back.
him.
He'll
I love
probably
Mad
be
Max.
really mad about it, but I'm sure he'll.
I think
go
he
back
knows
there
it though.
anyways.
Like I'm sure they told him going into the
that doesn't
season.
mean he's not going to be mad about it.
Well, he's
Jacob.
mad.
It doesn't really
Max.
matter if
He's
you
mad
know
when he
about it.
wakes up and realizes that he doesn't have his matching socks ready.
Yeah.
But that's okay. I love him. What do you think, Dan? Mad Max, bullpen or starting rotation when the pitchers are healthy?
Well, I hate to say this because I love him, but being 42, being in Andy Clear, and looking at how he played the last game, I think when everyone's healthy, he's going to be the bullpen, not the starting season.
Dan, I have a question for you.
Yes, sir.
Do you know someone named Yarmir Yager?
I
Age is
love
just
him.
a number, my friend. Age is just a number.
That's very true. Yeah, 52. So what? You know?
See, Key thinks I did a good job being angry, Key.
Oh, you did, bud. You did a great job.
Yeah, see, there you go. Sean's poop talking, and the bike is going to make him into the Hall
Oh
of
my
Fame.
gosh, what are we doing? What are we doing?
Dan thinks the Jays can beat the Dodgers even healthy, man. I'm sorry, but that's next. Hey, you know what, though? I will say this, though.
It
You're
was
saying that,
close.
but the Jays were literally a weird ball trapped under the wall away from winning the World Series.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh, wait, so guys, this is not baseball related, but I just saw this post, and this is like crazy.
Leap year, Dan.
Michigan's roster next year. Michigan's roster for next season,
Are
as
you
it
talking
stands
hockey?
in NCAA hockey,
Okay.
is Michael Hayes. Some of them play Michael Hayes, William Horkoff, Jack Nesbitt, Cameron Reed, who's going. Him and Nesbitt are both projected to go. JP Hurlbert, Cole McKinney, Jack Ivankovich, Malcolm Spence, Jaden Perron, Henry Muse, Drew Sherlock. All of them are either first-round picks, have been first-round picks, or projected to be in the first or second round.
Yeah.
Or even, like, it's crazy. And plus,
Sure.
Michael Hayes' brother's potentially committing next year. That's the rumor. Same thing that Landon DuPont's in discussions to go to Michigan next year, which is crazy as well if that happens. Given how dominant he's been in the dub the last 2 years.
Oh.
Again, as like a
Interesting
16,
if people
as like a
left and left.
15 and 16-year-old, like it's absolutely insane what he's done in the CHL the last 2 years. But Jeez, Michigan are going to be stacked next year. If they don't win the national championship next year, it would be a disaster for them. That would be insane.
Take out gotta be in the attic for the wings and the hammer.
Jeez, these comments are so bad. Oh, that's not that far back. Actually.
Is it Adam's attic? Because I know Lane was in Adam's.
No, oh my gosh, why are we talking? No, stop it, Jacob. Stop it.
Jacob, did you hear about this story? So the Philadelphia Phillies scrapped a $1.3 million deal with a 13-year-old baseball prospect because he's doing steroids.
What?
Wow.
They're already signing players at the age of 13.
That is crazy.
Yeah, NHL teams used to do that. Bobby Orr was signed from like age 13, but Boston signed him to like a deal. Like he wasn't going to play, of course, at 13, but they signed him to like a pre-contract agreement at 13 years old to play for them when he was, because they didn't have a draft back when Bobby Orr first started playing. And like that is just that's crazy that they do it. Like that's kind of that they do even now.
Welcome back to the decks.
So this prospect did the same drugs as
SOS.
Okay, we gotta talk about it.
Alvarado did.
But
that's crazy though, Rick. What you're saying about players getting signed at like 13, but you know what? If they're doing steroids,
it did happen back in the day.
Well, that's different now though. Yeah. Wow, what do you guys think about this one? Okay. Raptors win at least 2 versus Cleveland.
Okay, let's talk about it. Like the Raptors. So earlier this season, the Raptors played Cleveland. They played Cleveland 3 times this season, but they have not played them since the first half of the season, and they beat them all 3 times. That was all 3 were in and around that like long 8-9 game win streak that they had. And so they haven't played them since James Harden was acquired by the Cavs, and James Harden's been very good in the 26 games he's played for them. I think it is something like that. Honestly, if I honestly, in my opinion, if they played the Knicks, they would have got swept by the Knicks. It was 5. They were 0-5 against the Knicks, and they just got like smashed by the Knicks. Like what, 3 days ago, and it was like a brutal beatdown on Friday. It was last Friday. Brutal beatdown. And like the team, I think yes, that's gas. I think personally, if the Raptors were going to have a chance of winning a series, I think they could beat the Cavs. The Cavs haven't been exactly convincing the last like couple years with in the playoffs. Now they have James Harden now, so that could be completely different. But again, as I've said on this show before, James Harden isn't exactly known to always be an amazing playoff performer. But you know, the Raptors don't have the experience the Cavs do, and that could just be their Achilles heel. But I honestly do think they could go, and I think this is gas. I think they can even beat Cleveland. I say they beat Cleveland in 7. That's my prediction. I'm probably wrong on that, so don't bet. Don't go to Straight Boo as well.
Oh, yeah. Don't go to Straight Boo. No. Yeah, no, Stream Boo.
Don't do that.
I will see on this. I think the Raptors will at least win 2, but I do think Cleveland will win in 6. I think it'll be a good series, and I think the Raptors can build on this for the future. You got to remember, most of these guys have never played a playoff game.
I agree.
I say
that's true.
I just don't see it quite yet, Dan. But go ahead. What do you think,
I say gas, and I think the Raptors can win 3 games in the series.
But do you think they'll win the series?
No, I don't think they'll win the series. I think Cleveland will win in 7, but I think it's going to be a hard-fought series.
What do you think, Rick?
Listen, since you guys need to get your heads out of your butts, and you guys can clearly tell you two up top aren't from friggin' Toronto, I am going to say if there's going to be any team that goes far in the playoffs in the GTA area, it's going to be the Raptors.
Ooh, yeah.
Let's go Raps.
Because if you look at their season numbers, points per game, Cleveland's 119.5, Raptors are 114.6. Give her 5 points. Rebounds are like within 2. Assists, Raptors are up by like 1. The steals are 0.3. Blocks are 0.2. The turnovers, Cleveland's had more turnovers. Shooting percentages is the same. So it's apples to oranges.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Okay. That's interesting.
What will be interesting is how much, because I will say, like, the biggest question mark is that the Raptors are an absolutely horrid 2-22 when taking out those 3 early season Cav wins against teams inside the top 3 in their conference. They haven't exactly been amazing against teams that are inside the top 6 in either conference. Like, they haven't been exactly amazing against teams that are better than them. But I will say a big part of that is that RJ Barrett missed large parts of this season due to injury, and RJ Barrett has been a big part of this team's half-court offense. But again, I will say this: once the playoffs come around, anybody can win. It'll be about who wants it more. And again, I will say this: like, whether it's fair to say it or not, the Cavs have come up short the last couple of years with Donovan Mitchell. And they haven't exactly been convincing. Whether that's different with James Harden is yet to be seen, and we will see it. But like, yeah, I just think it will be interesting to see what ends up happening. It's an afternoon start on Saturday, 1:00 p.m. And I cannot wait because that is going to be some fun basketball to watch.
Okay,
and I hope the Raptors can win the series. But again, the Cavs are a great team as well. But
I have a question for you since you're the basketball guru.
Wow. Big words.
Do you see in this playoffs, I'm not saying teams, do you see more of like big name players making a step, or do you see it where it's like NHL where you see like no namers coming out of nowhere and having like big games? This playoffs,
like, like, is that like you're asking me a prediction? Like, if do you think you'll see more big name players having big playoffs, or do you think it'll be like the bench? I don't want to say really bench players, but like, I think
if you had to use an NHL reference, like your second, third line people, on the NBA bench.
I think, as personally, I do believe this, and I think a lot of people who watch basketball may even believe this too. I think if you're going to win the series, you need those guys to step up. And I could definitely see some of them having big games, whether that will be them scoring 30-plus points or them just making the clutch plays that you need, like OKC got last year from some of their, like, they weren't star guys last year, let's say, or you didn't expect them to be as good as they were in the playoffs for OKC. And yeah, I could see that happening. Like, but I do expect I'll go star player though for this, because I think Luka Doncic will have a big playoffs. I would hope, at least. He's been injured the last couple of weeks. I'd expect him to have a big playoff. Same thing with Shea. Same thing with Jokic. Jokic needs to have a big playoffs after last year.
I hope not.
Yeah. I think it would be an interesting playoff. I think it would be more so on the bigger players for most teams. Like the Lakers will need their big guys to step up. To give an example, like the Lakers, if they're going to win the ring this year, they're going to win the chip. They need Luka Doncic and LeBron James to have amazing playoff
LeBron James. Also, thank you very much. Yeah, we got over 30 likes on a YouTube stream.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. Let's go.
Apparently, I see that there's a question for me in there.
There is.
Apparently, you guys have been waiting all night long for me to come on.
No, we were talking about this. And I said we need to get your take on this. We're taking the Islanders coming to the Hammer, and what will their name change possibly be? And I've been saying we got to talk to Rick. Rick's got the scoops.
I don't know what the name's going to be. If I had to guess, I'm going to say it's going to be something Hamilton, something Tigers. If they're going to keep the Sound Tigers name, if they're going to bring back the Hamilton Tigers from the NHL back in the early 1920s. Bulldogs, no, because they don't own the rights to it. I'm more of interested to see if they're going to go with what is it? Purple, orange, and white Islander colors, or if they're going to go black and gold.
Colors.
Because that's what Hamilton colors are. But at the same time, you'd have 3 teams in the league with the same colors.
Yeah, that's tough.
Whatever teams are black and gold in the AHL?
So you have Providence Bruins, that's one.
Oh, right, yeah.
Wilkes-Barre Scranton Penguins, that's two.
Right.
This would be three.
Yeah, I like.
So
we were thinking automotive.
The other interesting thing was that I actually just found out yesterday. So AHL playoffs are on a whole different pecking order.
They're bizarre.
So
be cool.
I was actually talking to one of the beat writers that's just finished yesterday because Bridgeport had their last home game yesterday. Listen to this, guys. So it goes best of 3, best of 5, then best of 7 for the final 4 and the finals. Best of 3, it could be home, away, home. But if you're I was told 300 miles or more, if you're 300 miles or more from home, you could be playing the whole series at your rink.
Yeah. Marlies got swept last year before they even got to come home. I think the Marlies have home ice advantage for their first round series because I think they're playing at which is going to be amazing. That's going to be good for them.
Best of 3 though.
Yeah, it's best out of 3, so they'll play 2 at home and then I think 1 on the road
against Rochester.
Is that who they're playing? Oh,
yeah.
That's
so
that's gonna be a tough series. That's gonna be
Boner Ball Gaming. So I've already put down my deposit for tickets.
Nice, sweet.
I'm trying to
do
get my ways in there for media stuff, but so I gotta play nice.
Let's go.
I can't make any promises. I'm gonna try.
Sweet.
So Bridgeport actually plays Hershey Bears, which is funny because Matt Strome is actually on the Hershey Bears team.
Ooh,
he got drafted the first year Hamilton had the OHL Bulldogs.
Oh.
Matt Luff was on that exact same team. So if Matt Luff comes back to Hamilton next year,
wow,
that's gonna be like
I have a question.
Homecoming.
I
have a question for everybody. I don't want to see you.
But did anyone watch the Masters over the weekend here?
No, yes, I was watching it on the TV and the floor and hoops
a little bit. Wait, I have a question though. I have a question. Can anybody name me a player, a current active? So there's one player I have in mind for this.
Okay.
Last time, Montreal had an AHL team in Hamilton, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can you name me one active player in the NHL who played in Hamilton in the AHL?
Yes.
Okay. Even better if you can name one that's currently in the Montreal Canadiens organization still.
You're very funny because there's no such thing.
There is no such thing as a player who played in Hamilton because I don't remember. I saw something, but I don't think he actually ever played in Hamilton.
That's very true. Leafs were very leafy tonight. Get a 3-0 lead and then.
Fun facts. How back do you want to go? Do you want to go 1999 2000s?
Whoa.
Jason Ward when he was back in the day. If everyone remembers good old Corey Locke.
Yeah.
This one, which one was this? This one was 08-09 when you had PK Subban, Sean Bell, David Desjardins. So what I was actually going to answer your question, Adam, is mine was going to be Andre Kostitsyn.
Oh.
Because he played for both Hamilton and Montreal, and so did his brother Sergei.
Okay. Wait, so can you name me a player? So there is a player currently on Montreal who played in the AHL for Hamilton that's currently on Montreal's team. So, Rick, I assume you know. Jacob and Dan, do you know who it is?
Who played
in the AHL for Hamilton when they were still a part of Montreal. Still their affiliate.
Follow-up question, are we including the lockout year?
Which lockout year? 2012? That lockout year?
Yes.
Yeah, sure, yeah.
Okay.
That
Okay.
counts.
Yeah, sweet Buffalo Sabres.
Okay.
Currently
clinched the
active
division
player,
tonight.
Jacob, because I thought you just said PK Subban, but it's
No, I said
currently
Brandon
active.
Let's go.
No.
Buffalo.
I know of one. I know of one.
Brandon Gallagher.
That is
That's
the player
one
who
I was
did it.
thinking.
That is
Ooh.
the active, currently active, who plays for Montreal is Brendan Gallagher, who
What
played.
fish? What's a Marley like Marley and me? Ruff.
No idea what.
That is
Marley
such a
is, to be
sad
honest with
movie,
you.
by the way. Marley
He
and
put
me.
up 61 points, by the way. In 2012-13 was the only year he played for Hamilton. 61 in 36 games. It's crazy.
So
Yeah,
Funfish
crying
doesn't
James,
really
not
know.
LeBron.
So when I did free agent day for CFL,
Yeah.
that spreadsheet that I did that day, that took me probably about 3 days to put together.
Oh, I can believe it.
Oh, wow.
And you're talking about stats that had all offense, defense, special teams, all the coaching staff for all the teams. Like it had everything. So he goes, "Oh, you're a stat." Well, yeah, this is. I mean, these are. I think this is the oldest program that I
Couldn't
have
tell you.
from 1999 to 2000.
Did you guys not notice that Montreal and Tampa are playing each other in the first round? That's already been a matchup that's been secured.
And I hate saying
the
the
word
word epic.
Clash. That's gonna be a fun series.
By the way,
actually,
technically,
that will be a series we'll be doing a lot of coverage on.
I think that the biggest backlash will be the Minnesota Wild and the Toronto or Dallas Stars because either top 3 team in the Central is going out in the first round.
Because both of those teams are legitimate Stanley Cup contenders.
Yeah, that's gonna be. I don't understand how they could. Oh, and by the way, WNBA news. I don't know. I don't think anybody else really cares, but Kia Nurse,
I care.
Born in Canadian, is gonna is signing with the Toronto Tempos. So you know what?
Oh, that's awesome.
That's awesome. That. Kia Nurse.
Cool.
Wait, who's Kia Nurse related to? Who's
Darnell Nurse.
And the cousin of
Brad
Sarah
Pitt.
Nurse.
No, I'm kidding.
No, cousin of Sarah Nurse.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. No.
Also, I do want to.
One more. There's still one more person that he's related to.
Oh,
Dan.
Who is he? Else is he related to? Dan.
I was going to say it's 3 of them.
No. It's
No,
not even.
Dan.
It's not even a sport that you guys are gonna think of.
Is it rugby?
Yeah.
Well, I just want to make sure
European
that I
handball.
have. If I remember correctly, is she not related to a Philadelphia Eagle?
Oh yeah, I think I saw.
No, you're
something
right.
like
She
that.
is. I just don't remember the player.
Maybe, yeah.
I have a question for
It's
you.
a quarterback.
Oh, hers. Is it hers?
Hurts? I don't think so.
I have a question.
If you want to get to this comment, though, and
yeah,
I think I can tell you what happened.
I can't even answer.
I can answer.
Yeah.
And Detroit
I don't
fans are
think you
not
can,
going to like
but-
it. You put too much faith in Patty Kane, Cam Talbot.
Oh, that's not why.
I think it is. And DeBrincat
That's
and
not
Larkin.
why.
I think Detroit just needs more depth. Like, Dylan Larkin gets hurt and there's nothing left. Patrick Kane is not a top, number 1 player anymore. I mean, obviously, to go from maybe that's not the reason why they went from leading the division to not making the playoffs. But when you look at this last month, I just think there's just not enough there in Detroit. And I think it's why Steve Yzerman will be fired. This was the year to make a big splash at the deadline. And he went and got one okay defenseman. Like, why didn't they go get Bobby McMahon? Throw Toronto a first-round pick for McMahon. This was the year to do it. This wasn't the year to go get another mediocre defenseman. You traded Justin Hall, who is apparently all he has to do is become a running back in the XFL, and then you're fine. And you're saying Lucas Raymond again. No disrespect to Lucas Raymond. Then I'm going to get to other comments here. I don't think Lucas Raymond is not enough. I think Detroit just needed more.
Okay, I found out who it was. You guys ready?
Justin Hall.
Yes.
So she is the niece of Donovan McNabb.
Oh, I forgot
wow.
about that.
Wow.
Did
And
Oh,
both of her
okay.
parents were born in
Not
Hamilton.
here about that from Britney Spears.
I forgot about that too. Yeah,
I mean, I will say address this quickly. I'm glad that Britney Spears is going to rehab, and hopefully she gets better.
Let's hope, eh? Yeah.
Flyers player celebration was pretty special, man. They brought Porter Martone at just the right time.
Very perfect timing.
Did anyone see the green jacket meme from the weekend of the Masters?
I don't think so.
Where McIlroy is putting on his jacket, and you just see Tiger Woods' car come flying over the people, does a spin, and he goes up to McIlroy and tries to take the gold jacket with the bottle of Jack in his hand.
How's it going here, Eastside Jameson? Always good to see you back at the desk.
With the Fox body.
Wasn't Lucas Raymond drafted in like late 2000s?
We get to see Nurse in Vancouver in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Who, Lucas Raymond?
Yeah.
Lucas Raymond was not been fired. Don't you worry. Rick just honored us with his greatness.
No, I had to follow Lane's greatness because he was on. So I'm like, I seen Lane on. I'm just gonna sneak over and.
As Dan likes to say, Rick just slid into our LinkedIn DMs.
Literally.
Oh my gosh. Dan, you do know what that means.
Fired.
Right.
So I'm gonna explain this again because Lane wasn't here earlier when I said that.
Right, that's what I was saying.
So Lane, you're coming to the CFL preseason party on the Sunday. I've already told the Analyst Desk. I've already spoken with Jacob. We are going to be doing an episode from my backyard.
Oh, yeah. Jacob didn't want to tell us.
We will also have, depending on what time everyone shows up, we will be... I just got to look at the date here.
It's time for Rick's.
Depending on when everyone comes, we could be watching the Jays game in my backyard.
Ooh. You must have a TV in your backyard.
No, but I can get a TV in my backyard.
Oh, perfect. Okay, cool.
Lane,
yes, that makes sense.
Back.
Also, Lane, as you don't already know, you are part of the Analyst invite party for the home opener. Tickets on me. Lane was
the Die Cat,
which is Rick is
absolutely legendary.
Thank you.
Rick, an absolute legend.
Rick's the best.
I gotta somehow turn these two more.
No! Oh my gosh! You're not in my basement.
It's funny because I made a joke about this when he says he was at his mom's, and I said finally Lane leaves Adam's basement.
Yeah, like absolutely crazy.
David, I will check Messenger. Don't worry. David and I are buddies back from our college days.
I will take a look.
You lose, sir. What did I lose? Anyway, let's get to another comment here. And yeah, Connor, I did say I think Yzerman needs to go. I think Yzerman's a smart man. Like I wouldn't say he's an idiot, but I think I agree with you. He's got that 6 or 7 years.
The plan just didn't work.
Yeah.
The plan didn't work.
Yeah, it just hasn't worked in Detroit. And I think you need a change. I actually hope Toronto gets Steve Yzerman as their president. But
yeah,
I think
it'd be brilliant.
Detroit, I thought this year was the year to really buy at the deadline. And they just did.
100%.
I thought this was the year to go out and make the big splash. Like, look at Utah, for example. They went out and got the best defenseman they could get in Mackenzie Weegar. Seattle, it didn't work, but they went out and got the best forward they could get. And actually, Bobby McMahon's been great in Seattle, even though it didn't turn into wins. McMahon's been phenomenal. And
LA basically flipped Scotty Lottman for Corey Perry.
Which actually I think has worked out. Scott Lawton has worked out really nicely in LA.
Oh, I think so too.
Detroit for me, and I'll be having this conversation with my colleague tomorrow. He's a huge Red Wings fan. We'll have to have him on the show for the Red Wings debrief show. But
I don't do that. That's just gonna be.
I will.
That's gonna be a lot of yelling.
I feel like for Detroit, this was the year to really pull the trigger, and it didn't happen. This was the year to go and maybe even trade a prospect or a trade draft picks to just get in. Because I think if they got in my opinion, the East is so wide open this year. Like, there's even Tampa could get. I honestly think there's a chance Montreal beats Tampa first round. I do.
Yeah, I do too. I think
there's a chance that Ottawa could beat Buffalo, and you might think I'm insane, but that's fine. You're entitled to.
I can see that.
But I think Ottawa could beat Buffalo.
I do.
Like
you are insane, Jacob.
Look. Everyone told me I was nuts when I said Ottawa was going to make the playoffs, and what happened? Ottawa made the playoffs. I am telling you, by the metrics, they are one of the best teams in the NHL that didn't get goaltending. Now they are now getting above average goaltending, because the save percentage average in the NHL this year has been one of the worst years for goalies in the NHL in the modern era. We're at 897 save percentage is the average in the NHL this year. That's terrible.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But at the end of the day, Ottawa is getting above that right now. And if Ottawa can get above that, Buffalo's goaltending is a huge question mark. You have two guys with no playoff experience. And Lewis Armark does have playoff experience. This is Ottawa's second go at the playoffs. Like, I think they maybe... I would love to see Buffalo go on a run, but I could also see Buffalo going out first round.
Wait, Jacob.
Hi.
I have a question for everybody, and I want to see if anybody
I honestly believe that
can remember this. So nobody's allowed to look it up. Okay. Nobody look it up in the comments either.
I agree.
When was the last time? So this year, Montreal and Tampa is a previous. So they, of course, met in the Cup final in 2020, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. When was the last time?
When was the last time before this year? There, a previous Stanley Cup final matchup has happened in the first round. So it could be any two teams who have matched up any time in the Stanley Cup finals, and then had a matchup in the first round of the playoffs before. Then anytime. Like, it doesn't have to be the next year, but it could be in any other time.
I'm trying to think, because I know Minnesota made it to the Final Four either 03, 04, and I'm pretty sure they had to have played Colorado the following year at some point.
They probably would have had to, yeah.
Oh, Rick,
this is the Cup. This is in the Cup final. This is in the Cup. Like, this is for the Stanley Cup. This is the final.
And yes, Lane, we will do Game 7 on Wednesday.
So watch out for another Analyst Desk Hamilton Sports Central collaboration.
So, Jacob, to answer your question, not all deadline deals work out for the best.
True.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, look at, if I had to redo the Braden Shen trade again this year, I would not have done it.
Really?
Well, yeah, you didn't make it in, right?
Yeah, so but don't you have the contract next year?
I agree.
But you're also paying the guy $6 million.
Yeah, but he fits the Islanders mold perfectly. I think he fits the Islanders perfectly.
Yeah, I think long term is a good trade because he fits the system, and I think you're pretty confident you can re-sign him.
I think for Shen, it's going to depend what they do next year. Like, let's say Shen turns into Carlo and the Islanders suck next year, which I'm not saying they will. I think the Islanders will be good next year. Then the trade was a disaster, right? If you can be good next year and Shen makes a difference, then I think the trade might actually really work out. We got another thing here. I think the Bolts are too strong for the Habs.
Yeah.
Tampa.
Hold on.
I agree in a sense.
But Colefield's too strong for the Lightning.
I agree with that. I mean, if Montreal can score, it will.
I think Montreal can beat Tampa. I really do.
I agree to a sense.
Mind you, a 6-game series would be a good series.
So I think a big difference between these two teams is like the depth and the experience that Tampa has on their team. I think is like that could create a big divide, as we saw in the Leafs set to start the Leafs and Zen series last year. You could tell that the Leafs had been to the playoffs before and knew what they were getting into, and the Sens were just kind of shell shocked at times about the physicality and like just the intensity. I think there was a little bit of shell shock there for like the first 2.5 games. And I think it will be, I have an opinion on this, but I will get to that after I'm done with my opinion about this. But I think the difference, no, because Carolina is top of the East right now. They're at 111. Yeah. Buffalo's at 108.
Yeah,
and Ottawa's the last wild card. So Jacob, but I was going to say, I think Tampa's depth in terms of their lineup and their wealth of experience, I think can turn the tide. Vasilevsky, of course, is the superior goalie. And I think that could cause Montreal a lot of issues is trying to solve on Andrei Vasilevsky. Now, I would like to remind everybody, Vasilevsky has never lost a Game 7, and he is literally virtually unbeatable in Game 6 and 7. You don't want this, or I should say Game 7. Game 6, he's
Leafs beat him in Game 6.
But it's like, I think you don't want that series to go deep with your Montreal. If Montreal's gonna win it, they're gonna win it by hitting them quick. And I think just to throw things back that way, Montreal has great depth. Their third line is very good. But I think because they have a lot of guys who haven't been to the playoffs before, including a whole line, their whole kid line has never played in the playoffs before.
Right.
And it's like, I guess you wonder, but Cole Caulfield is an elite goal scorer. Nick Suzuki, top 10 center in the NHL. Yuri Slafkovsky is very good at what he does as a power forward.
Demidov's been killing it this year.
Demidov, yes. Yeah, I think it will be a very interesting series. I would like to say the Sens and the Kane series is another very interesting one. In my opinion, this is my opinion. I don't like the Sens. This is not just me saying it. I am letting you know now. I do not like the Sens, but I am not. This is not me being biased. I just think that Carolina, despite what others may think, Carolina has been to 2 straight Eastern Conference Finals. They have added Nikolai Ehlers, who is a very good winger, but Carolina's roster, as constructed, their goaltending again is a question mark, but I think Ottawa's is as well. Despite how it's played. Well, Ottawa's is a huge question mark too, because
I would take Ottawa's goaltending over Carolina's right now.
Okay, so Jacob, listen to what I'm saying. You don't they're both question marks. It doesn't matter if you take them or not. I don't really care. Ottawa's goaltending is questionable. It has been all year. But I did agree. Carolina's goaltending is more questionable, Jacob. I never said that one was or another. I said they're both questionable. But I do think Carolina's roster, outside of goaltending, they know how to win in these moments. They know how to do it. You can't deny that fact because that is a given fact. They have been and won the. No, I'm not saying you did, Jacob. I'm just saying nobody can deny the fact that they know how to win. I didn't say that you did, Jacob. I never said that you did. I'm just saying that you can't. Nobody can deny that fact. And I think Carolina is going to beat the Sens, but that's just.
I have 2 points to bring up.
Yes, go ahead.
My 2 points is is this going to be the last playoffs we've seen Crosby?
No,
I hope not.
Ooh.
2,
I think it could potentially.
We actually don't have to. Well, not me. But the 3 of you don't have to worry about getting past the first round because your team's not in the playoffs.
That's so true. That's so true.
I'm being called out again in the comments.
Which is what I'm glad about.
By the way, I'm taking Montreal's side against Adam in this. I think Montreal can beat Tampa, number 1.
I never said they couldn't. I'm so done with you, Jacob.
All right, Adam, bye. He'll be back. I'm in his basement. He can't leave the house. Can't leave me alone in his house. But look, my thing is for Ottawa, and I want to go over some stats for Ottawa versus Carolina. So Carolina has a plus 55 goal differential, right? Which is phenomenal, by the way. Ottawa's goal differential was plus 30. Yeah. Also, very, very good.
It is.
Ottawa at home is 22-12-6. Carolina at home is 29-10-2. 2 teams that are both good at home. On the road, Ottawa's 21-15-5. Carolina is 23-12-5. That's actually pretty comparable. I think the biggest thing for me is Ottawa's goaltending at least has some playoff experience in both goalies between Omar and James Reimer. And I can't believe I'm saying it, but James Reimer legitimately has playoff experience. You think about that Hell series against Boston. It was 4-1. Right. Yes, I know. But I actually think Ottawa can beat Carolina because I think Carolina needed to fix one key position and they just didn't do it. I am not confident at all with either Bussy or Anderson being your goaltending in that series.
But you're
I'm more confident
in Linus Ullmark, who has,
yes,
mind you, lost the last 2 playoff series He wasn't the starter for Boston against the Leafs. He started every other game, and he did. He wasn't particularly great. Jeremy Swayman was the superior goalie in that series.
He was
better,
but he wasn't
continually. Bad. Jacob.
But go ahead.
You could say, you got to let me talk. Jeez Louise. But, like, you could say that them switching in and out of Swayman and Ullmark nearly costed Boston that series because Jeremy Swayman let in less than almost about just over a goal per game to the Leafs. He dominated the Leafs, and he has basically his whole career. He has a very good record against, but Linus Ullmark nearly costed Boston that series. That is a fact. Whether you like it or not, that's a fact. Linus Ullmark wasn't exactly, he had a shutout. I'm not going to say he played bad, but he wasn't exactly convincing last year in the playoffs either. And I don't know. I like Linus Ullmark. I think he's a phenomenal goalie. I really do. Excuse me. Jeez. I really do. But I just think that no matter what, I'm not confident in either team's goalie, but what team I'm confident in. I don't really like, because if you play good team defense, which Ottawa has done all year, but their goaltending has been very questionable. I'm not confident in either Ullmark currently until Ullmark proves me differently and James Reimer proves to me differently. I'm not confident that either could win that series for Ottawa. I would say I'm a little bit more confident maybe in Freddie Anderson because he's won series. He's led Carolina to back-to-back Eastern Conference Finals and then fell apart, of course. But I don't have faith. I have faith in the team that's proven. I have faith in the team that has the proven track record of winning playoff series. So that's what I'm going with. And to say, I think Montreal can beat Tampa. If I'm going to choose a team, I'm going to go with the team with Andrei Vasilevsky on it. Pardon me. Sorry to say, Montreal fans, I think you guys have a great team. But if I'm going to choose a team to win based on anything, I'm choosing Vasilevsky to win a series. And I'm going to choose between him and Dobis or him and Fowler, whichever one you want to put in the net. I'm choosing the guy who's won back-to-back Stanley Cup finals, went to three straight Stanley Cup finals, is basically unbeatable when you get to game 7. Sorry, I'm going to take the guy who has a proven track record in the playoffs over two guys who hasn't been the main guy and has won a playoff series before. My bad. Sorry for that.
Just to throw a little thing out there, there's some little breaking stuff going on in the background.
Ooh.
Oh.
Seattle just scored an empty net goal, so now they're down by 1 with a minute 42 left. Empty net. LA wins. They clinch the last playoff spot in the West. So it's going to be minute 42.
I'd love to see LA get
that could be big.
I just want to add to the Carolina-Ottawa point. I had no idea Ottawa was going to make the playoffs. I thought they were done. And I think one reason why they made it as far as they did is because they were active on trade deadline. They didn't do anything crazy, but they got Rowan Fogle. They also moved Polarn, which did not work for Detroit, unfortunately. And they took the gamble on James Reimer, which I get he's not what he used to be.
He's been good.
But I think in a bad situation, he could step in. And last year, a Dylan Cousins trade, I thought was crazy last year, but it's working very nicely for this team. And the flip side of it is you look at Carolina completely, not on a fall of their own, but they went for the fences last year for Lantanen. It did not work out. And this trade deadline, they did nothing. They didn't fix the goaltending issue. They didn't get the dominant franchise player. And it's like, I don't know. I think this Ottawa team has something special. I know Carolina's a lot better on paper, but Ottawa still lying. Whoa. I
think you're lying. I think you're lying.
I don't know. Will they beat Carolina? Maybe not. But will they put them a 7? 100% think so.
Then the only thing I do want to point out too is, and I get by statistically, Allmark's playoff stats are not great, But I'm talking about I like to watch and not just read a stat line. And watching, I thought Almar played above average against Toronto because by statistically, Anthony Stolarz had a bad playoff last year. And if you watch the games, that just isn't accurate. Right. So it's one of those things. And if you want to look at actually a goalie who has pretty good playoff stats and a track record, funny enough, it's actually James Reimer. You look at Reimer's playoff stats there. I mean, you're referencing old stats. I'm not going to lie. However, his playoff stats in 11 games, he's 5-5 of a 2.70 goals against average and a 925 save percentage. That's actually pretty good. And Reimer this year has found ways to win games, right? Like I could actually see James Reimer almost being like the Calvin Pickard of the playoffs this year. Not saying he's going to be phenomenal, but he might be able just to give you enough. And Ottawa is very good defensively. You guys can laugh at me all you want. Everyone can think I'm crazy.
But they are.
I think Ottawa can beat Carolina. And Adam, I do agree with you in a goaltending duo 1v1. Vasilevsky is a lot better than Dobis, and I'm not being a Dobis hater. He's had a good season overall. And I wasn't trying to be counted as a rookie. I was called out for that, and I will admit that. However,
he was a rookie, yeah.
I do feel if Montreal's offense can do what it's done this season, they have a good chance. And home ice has not been decided for that series yet. If Game 7's in Montreal, if that goes 7, that is a difference maker, and no one can tell me differently. The Bell Center is the most, I almost said erotic. It's not erotic, but the most exciting arena in the NHL, I think. And if that Game 7 is in Montreal, that is going to be a tough barn to come away with a victory if you're Tampa. That's all I'm saying. If you're any team to that matter.
So Jacob,
hi.
I will say, like, cool, but like, I mean, no offense to James Reimer because I love James Reimer, but I said it last year with Edmonton. The fact that they got as far as they did with Calvin Pickard is beyond me. But I don't think anything of difference. If James Reimer's your starter, I don't know how much confidence I'm gonna have in you. I think the Habs can win that series, but in my personal opinion, I don't care where the hell. I don't care where the hell Game 7 is. I honestly, no offense, I get what you're saying, Jacob. I said the same thing when the Leafs.
Everyone's laughing.
When the Leafs and Tampa played and the Leafs beat Tampa, I'm like, you can't let that game go deep. You can't let that series go deep. That series goes deep and you're gonna lose. Because Vasilevsky is one of the best Game 7 performers, just like Justin Williams, Mr. Game 7. Justin Williams. Andre Vasilevsky is phenomenal in Game 7s. And honestly, in my opinion, if Montreal is going to win that series, the way I see it planning out, if I'm Montreal, I'm trying to end this series in 5 or 6. I am trying to rapid hit Tampa. You try to make tips in front of Andre Vasilevsky. We've seen that works out. But you cannot if Nikita Kucherov and that Tampa Bay offense gets going, in my opinion, I don't think Montreal has firepower, but Nikita Kucherov is a difference maker. Whether you agree to that or not, Nikita Kucherov can tear you apart by himself. Nikita Kucherov is a phenomenal player. He does not get the love that he deserves. A healthy Braden Point is dangerous. Victor Hedman, if he's back for the playoffs, we don't know. I think he's still away from Tampa Bay dealing with personal issues, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
But again, they've dealt they're in the position they are in without Victor Hedman for a large part of the season anyways. Jay Gensel has won 2 Stanley Cups with Pittsburgh. He's a playoff performer. Nikita Kucherov, playoff performer. Braden Point, playoff performer. Braden Hagel, playoff performer. Like, Tampa Bay is filled with playoff performers. I think Montreal could win the series. I'm just more confident, but we want to talk about good goaltending. Freddie Anderson recently has had a 183 goals against average.
That's true.
262, 202, and has had below a 900 save percentage in one of those playoff runs with Carolina. Just wanted to point that out. And we're going to talk about goaltending. Freddie Anderson hasn't been a slob either.
Just before we go over to the next series, just want to point out LA won. So Nashville, San Jose, Winnipeg are now officially eliminated. Fun fact: San Jose and Nashville will finish with more wins than LA, and they don't make the playoffs.
Wow, that is just bad.
Nashville and San Jose, Nashville and San Jose both have 38.
Don't start this again.
Nashville and San Jose both have 38, and LA has 35.
Wow.
So, Rick, you weren't here the last time I talked about this, and I'm not going to get into my whole rant. But this is the problem with a system where some games are worth a total of 3 points, and some games are worth a total of 2 points.
You know what drives me nuts?
LA made the playoffs by losing. If you think about it, they made the playoffs by losing.
Islanders would be in the playoffs, fourth place in the West if they were in the West.
Oh yeah, I mean Calgary would have made the playoffs in the East last year. I mean it's
Lane. We're not starting this again. That was the most annoying debate on planet Earth.
You're an annoying debate.
Okay, yeah, but Jacob, you want to say they did get in by losing, but they also got in by earning an extra point. Whether you want to admit that or not, Jacob,
you're not understanding it.
Okay, whatever.
Adam,
you want to keep telling me I'm not understanding?
You're not understanding it. I don't know what math class you took, but every game can't be worth a different amount of points. That doesn't work.
Oh my God, Jacob.
Yes. You either get 0, you get 1, you get 2.
Either make a regulation win.
I get what Jacob's saying.
Or an overtime loss.
I get it. Nothing. Jacob just doesn't want to admit that I understand his point. He just wants to keep yelling at me constantly. That's all
I'm not yelling.
He just wants to lecture me all the time. That's all. Jacob wakes up in the morning and is like, "How can I lecture Adam again?"
He does actually. He does.
That's what he wakes up. He craves this.
100%. He does.
I have a question for you, Leaf fans. I have your question about it for you, Leaf fans. My question is, what's more embarrassing? What's more embarrassing? The Leafs lose at home tonight again, or player puts it in their own net in front of a sold-out crowd?
I'm gonna say when the Leafs when Brian McCabe scored on his own net on a one-timer. That was the funniest thing ever.
Both are embarrassing, equally embarrassing.
I wasn't embarrassed by the loss tonight personally. I thought the Leafs played hard tonight.
So you don't like this green screen fun fest.
Just
Rick, apparently you are puzzling Funfish.
Just to point out Ontario secrets.
It was about whose game it was. It was about it wasn't about the game. It was about the fact that this was the last home game for an iconic figure in Leafs hockey.
I get that.
That's the reason it's more embarrassing. That's the reason it's embarrassing.
Just to bring up Ontario Secret's question. So LA plays Colorado, Dallas plays Minnesota, Vegas plays Utah, and Edmonton plays Anaheim in the West.
Vegas, Utah are going to be a fun series. And
I think it'll be a great series.
Is Vegas on top of that division?
Yeah,
I thought Edmonton was winning that division still, but I guess I'm not paying. I've not been paying attention to the Pacific.
Why don't we go to NHL.com together?
Which I'm already at.
Oh my gosh.
As a family. And let's read this.
Oh my gosh.
So, if the playoffs started today.
Jacob, that means we could do brackets already. Wow.
Exactly, which Adam has a big announcement about that. And apparently you got this, Adam,
I have to make the announcement. Oh my gosh.
Well, it's your idea.
I got to make the announcement.
The Buffalo Sabres will take on, if it started today, the Boston Bruins. Hell of a first round.
I was just going to say, if you click on standings, they actually have... If you go up more. If the playoffs started today, you can just click on it and there's the brackets.
Oh my gosh. This actually, holy cow. This is so much easier than what I was going to do. Okay. So I think would play Boston. Okay. Tampa would play Montreal. Carolina would play Ottawa. Pittsburgh would play Philly. I'm going to say this. That Pittsburgh-Philly series will be a war.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm all for it.
Oh, I'm so happy to see the Battle of Pennsylvania come back. People talk about Battle of Ontario, Battle of Florida. This one's going to be a bloodbath, especially if Pittsburgh getting tough against Anthony Manfred in the offseason. Boy, it's going to be a great series. He had a clear year, by the way, in Pittsburgh this year.
And then in the West, because we had some questions.
So, Jacob, do you want me to make the announcement? Okay. I'll wait.
We have.
Go, Jacob.
Colorado versus LA. Poor LA. But I am happy to see Anze Kopitar get one more playoff push.
That's going to be a tough series,
Minnesota.
I think so.
Vegas versus Utah. And Edmonton versus Anaheim. If you're Edmonton, you literally got the best case scenario, I think, because I think Utah will be a harder out than Anaheim.
I agree.
Yeah, I agree.
I think Utah.
I still think really Anaheim will be tough. I still think Anaheim could be tough for Edmonton. I still think. But Draisaitl and Hyman were both seen skating today, but Draisaitl is not 100% yet, so he might not even be available for game 1. If that's Saturday or if that's Sunday, we don't know the schedule yet. But he might not be available yet when the series starts. I think that could be interesting.
Now, the only thing I do want to mention, these still could change, I believe. I don't think this is all completely.
No, because I think all the seeding out. No, I think outside of LA.
Everything's done.
All the seeding's clinched. Because there's only one game I think left for most teams.
No, LA just clinched the last.
No. LA. Wait, but can LA not pass Utah?
No, but for example, Edmonton could still pass Vegas. Anaheim could still pass Edmonton and Vegas. LA could pass Utah.
Okay, so seeding's not done yet.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Seeding's not done yet.
Hold on. So technically they can't because Vegas is beating the Jets right now, so Vegas would still finish first.
No, because that would put Vegas with 93 points. And Edmonton has more regulation
2 points.
So if Edmonton wins their next game and Vegas loses, Edmonton would jump over them because they have more regulation wins. So if we look here back at the standings, right?
Gosh.
Edmonton has 40 regulation wins. Then we have Vegas with 37. So if they tie, even if Vegas wins tonight, if they lose their next and Edmonton wins their next, they still could jump. Anaheim could also potentially jump Edmonton. Plus, we also have where LA could still potentially jump Utah. We also have where Utah could actually just surprise everyone.
Yes, fun fish.
Anaheim or Edmonton they're in the other division. Ignore that one. But there are a lot of things that could still happen. And in the East, okay, so this is where it gets really complicated. So Boston could still go down to the second wild card. Ottawa could jump Boston. Philadelphia actually could jump Pittsburgh. If Pittsburgh loses, Philly wins, more regulation wins. Montreal could jump Tampa, but they cannot.
Pittsburgh has more relegation wins, Jacob. What are you talking about?
Pittsburgh has 42 relegation wins.
No, that's relegation wins that's wins in total. Relegation wins is 34 to 26.
Oh, right, you're right. Never mind. But so
I am always right, Jacob. I'm always right. I'm not just right now. I am always right.
We still do have some very interesting things that could potentially be slated, but as of right now, this is how we're looking.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, you know what? I think I'm pretty damn smart. Brandon says he's always right. You know what?
Cool.
I think I am always right, except when I'm wrong.
Yeah.
And yes, fun fish. Montreal still could get home ice.
Tampa needs to lose. As long as if Tampa wins, they'll remain ahead of Montreal. So Montreal needs to win and Tampa needs to lose for Montreal to get home ice. It's the only way they get home ice because they each have a game remaining
tomorrow.
Yeah, so this could be a very interesting end to the season.
Yeah. Yeah, I think if you're Montreal, you really want to get home ice over Tampa. Although, as JP
and Tampa
Power
plays
out,
the Rangers. Oh my gosh, if this is in New York, I would not want to be seeing that. Is the game in New? Oh no, it's in Tampa. No. Never mind. The Rangers are actually good away. They're terrible at home.
Adam, you have been asked to say Dan's line.
I'm not saying it.
Dan, will you help us out?
What?
Ticats are better than Yargos.
Adam should say anything is possible.
So Adam won't do it. Will you do it?
Sir, anything's possible!
Thank you, Dan.
Look at that. Look at Jacob's face.
Jacob's just dumbfounded. You just asked him to do that.
But Jacob, did you go to the tanning salon today?
You were in the Tim's line today.
Nice.
I said, did you go to the tanning salon today?
Me? No.
Yeah,
Yeah, your face is all red. Joke, ha, now drink.
I thought you said I won the Tim's line, like in Tim's pick on the app. I do. I'm hard of hearing, bro. I'm deaf.
I said Jacob. I didn't say Dan.
That's true. You did.
Adam, how do
you
you
are the chosen one?
I don't know how I deal with these two.
But Adam, you are being called out because you weren't right about.
I don't care.
I was the one who actually said the Leafs to make the playoffs.
So I'm actually curious.
I said they. What was I supposed to say, Lane? No. But seriously, I'm so tired. Lane. What did you want me to say? Did you want me to be like Dan and be like a Debbie
Very
Downer?
weak.
Like, this team
What?
sucks.
How is that weak?
I'm always going to say they're going to make the playoffs because I'm not a Debbie Downer, you know.
So
I actually believe in my team.
Should we make a prediction of which Leaf players are going to do well in the golf course this offseason since they're not in the playoffs?
You know what?
Do as well as they always do.
I will say I think Anthony Stolarz will do well at the golf course because at least he'll have a golf cart so he doesn't keep injuring himself every 5 seconds, the poor bloke.
That's true. That would be good if he doesn't. If he actually doesn't get hurt for once.
Oh my god!
But,
you know what? I'm gonna say this, and I am going to sound like Lane when he talks about the NFL. I am excited to watch NHL playoffs and literally not care who wins.
Yeah,
because
I'm just gonna watch really good hockey. Come on here, argue with people, and have a great time. By the way, this isn't vodka. If anyone's wondering, it is just water. I'm just this crazy when I'm sober. Imagine if I wasn't. But
thank you, Dennis.
Got some Crown Royal right here, but no mix.
Dennis Olsey's sharing our stuff on his Facebook. I love it. Thank you, dude.
Oh, we really appreciate it, Dennis. You demand.
He's from Hamilton as well. In the Hammer.
Dan, apparently you've done better. Anything is possible.
Well, Jacob tells me I'll yell too loud, and I'm like, okay, I'll try again.
Will you try again?
Okay.
Yeah, because it's like 12:30 in the morning.
Anything's possible.
Can I just make a point? Clearly, no one else lives in Dan's place but Dan.
Yeah.
Are we yelling at 12:30 in the morning?
Stop bloody yelling. Oh my god.
You know what it is, guys? Do you know what it is? You know why Adam's telling Dan to stop yelling? Dan has moved into Adam's basement.
So what I would like to
I'm
know
gonna do a
is-
stream from my basement next time, and y'all better show up in the
We'll
stream.
be there.
In my basement then. Okay. We'll
B
see it.
B squared.
No, Leaf fans complain after the first round, but they still watch.
Yes, that's what we do.
So, Jacob, you're gonna make fun of me for saying this because the joke that you made about me the other day about finally leaving Hamilton the other day. So I went walking around Scotiabank Arena the other day. I finally found out where Maple Leaf Square was, like outside Scotiabank.
Oh, you didn't know that?
And I seen your guys' very not good Maple Leaf Row, whatever you guys want to call it, besides Sunday.
Oh, Legends Row? Legends Row?
What, you don't like that?
I never knew about it. I'm not a Leafs fan. I don't go out to Toronto that often.
Oh.
He doesn't leave Hamilton. He's Hamilton
You go
Sports
to
Central.
like every day.
The last time I was to Hockey Hall of Fame was 2017.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, Dan, you're saying, oh my gosh, we were like in high school still last time we went.
Well, I went more recent, but we still going to Hall of Fame again.
Yes, let's go. Let's do a vlog.
That'll be some cool podcast
Hall of
content.
Fame vlog.
We can be like Dog with a blog.
We have it like me in Toronto, that one.
Fun fish. You woke up the neighborhood, Dad.
Hey, Dixie did a better job.
I heard that in Adam's basement. I'm trying to sleep.
Lane, I thought you were at your mom's house.
Adam, I'm waiting to hear.
Oh my gosh, don't do that in your neighbor's doorway.
So, Lane, fun fact, I used to live in Stony Creek, okay? Back in my high school days. So we're talking like 2005.
Oh, wow. I was 3.
Also, fun fact, Jacob, Dan, I know you guys are from Hamilton, so you guys will know the area. Kenilworth access. ever want to have fun, just go GTing down the side of the mountain, tackle each other into trees.
Oh my
I did that
God,
as a kid.
like
Best
fun.
thing ever.
Let's
that
do it.
awesome.
We have a crazy
what's the good wing
nowadays.
spot in Stony Creek then, Ontario? So you could say you heard there's a good wing spot.
Why are we talking about food again?
Well, last stream was
the place Lane goes to.
So for those that don't know, I look like a random NHL team. This is actually Holland's logo.
Yes, that's what I said first.
So
I knew
I'm
that.
part Dutch. I have Dutch, Italian, Danish. So yeah.
Wow.
At least I get to cheer for one of my countries during the World Cup. Well, two out of the three for the World Cup.
We're just British.
Nice.
Actually, no, I only got one because Italy didn't make it.
No, and nor did the Danes.
No,
I was gonna say.
I gotta depend on Canada.
Well, I got Canada.
Canada.
I got. Who else do I have? I have. Well, my part of my dad's side of the family is Dutch, and my dad's South African, so I got 2 teams.
Whoa,
basically,
what?
kind of 3.
I
got Canada. No, 4 because I'm American, but I don't care about it.
Ooh,
you know what?
Get him out of here! Get him out of here! So, Adam,
what's up?
Question for you. So, if you're Dutch, do you know what "puss up put" means in Dutch?
No, because I don't speak any Dutch. I'm like
that means watch out, boy, in Dutch.
Ah. Gotta watch
I only know swear words in Dutch. That's all I know.
Nice. That's all you need to know.
Dutch wooden shoes.
Oh, I hate it.
Clogs.
Oh, don't touch my clogs!
My clogs!
Oh my god!
My mom. So I'm pretty sure my parents have a pair upstairs. My mom used to tell me the days that she used to get beaten by a ruler in school.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh! Jeez.
Crazy.
That is crazy.
I mean, we're talking like the 60s, Adam. Like, relax.
Yeah. Oh, I know. I know that. That's so crazy to think about.
I know.
Listen, Adam, you want to hear something crazy? My mom broke a girl's collarbone because she wouldn't pass her fucking gym class.
What? Oh my god, that is crazy.
But guys, I want to ask you a serious question.
Okay,
I'm gonna bring up.
Was that supposed to make an announcement?
I'm gonna bring this up again.
Oh, what are we bringing up? Is it the standing so you can lecture us again?
We're gonna look at the pools.
No.
Yeah, we're gonna look at the bracket.
Okay.
Tell me one series that you think will be a dud.
Colorado, LA.
Colorado,
LA.
So you're saying Colorado will just dominate LA?
Yes.
Dan, what's your dud?
Boy, that's a great question. I hate to say it because I love them, but I think it might be Vegas and Utah.
Well, okay, but who's blowing out who?
I think Vegas is blowing out Utah.
Oh,
I hate to say that because I love them. I think Utah win a game or 2.
Lane saying Edmonton.
Oh, that's what I should have said.
We have Carolina, Ottawa, and the Canes.
If I had to pick an East, it would be Buffalo beating Boston because Boston really doesn't have anyone anymore.
Okay.
Yeah, that's true.
What do you think, Adam?
I'm gonna pick a dud from either side. I'm gonna go Buffalo, Boston, but that could go either way for me. Like either way, because I think I could see Buffalo getting upset. Not because I think Buffalo is bad, but I think it's because they don't have it's their first time going
blowout
in.
To answer the question.
Same kind of thing for Boston, but I actually think Swayman can lock down. Can be very good in net. Yeah, so I would say that could go either way up there. That could be a dud either way. And then my other one is because I like to be funny and I am a weirdo. I'm going to say Dallas, Minnesota. I'm going to say Dallas, Minnesota.
He comes in the closet and says he's a weirdo.
I have a stat. I have a reason why. I'm a strange guy, Rick. I'm a very strange human being. Really weird. I like to admit that. I am very weird. I'm a strange, I say Dallas, Minnesota, because Minnesota has not won a playoff series in, I think it's been like nearly a decade.
Shut your mouth.
Rick, I know that's funny saying that as a Leaf fan, but funny enough, people like to make jokes about the Leafs having gotten out of the first round. Minnesota actually have the longest streak of not winning a playoff series in the NHL, and that's 8 straight seasons of losing in the first round, something like that. Something ridiculous like that, and I'm like, I'll choose that as a dud just to be controversial, a little bit.
Okay, so Adam, I got a thing for you. When was the last time Toronto made the Final Four?
They've never made the Final Four.
Exactly. So I have you beat there with 2003.
So, however, I'm gonna.
I was just saying a stat for you, Rick. No need to attack me, okay? I'm just giving you a stat that your team sucks in the first round, okay?
So, this is going to be crazy.
In the first round.
Adam and I have the same team, but for a completely different reason.
You're not allowed to have the same take as me. No,
I said same team, but completely different reason.
I want to be different. I want to be different, Jacob. Stop.
You will be, and everyone's going to call me out again. Minnesota is going to blow the doors off of the Dallas Stars.
Whoa.
They are going, because you know what? You are forgetting about one key factor that Minnesota added.
Quinn
Hughes. Yeah. You also have Kaprizov, who's an absolute game breaker. Yeah. Mikko Rantanen has not looked nearly as good this year as he did last year. Rantanen isn't going to care because he's not playing Colorado. You should have seen him in that series versus the other ones.
Okay, Jacob.
Hold on. Ottinger, inconsistent in the playoffs.
I don't think
that's a fact. Enough. And I actually think Minnesota, this is the year that they legitimately make a playoff run. And they will do that Jacob, by blowing the absolute doors off of the Dallas Stars. This series is going 5 games, Minnesota. Let's go,
Jacob,
baby.
I have a question.
5 games. The Minnesota Wild are going to send everyone in Texas to a Rangers baseball game because they are done with the Dallas Stars.
Jacob, I have a question for you.
So will be the blowouts. Let's go, Dallas Stars.
Jacob, I have a question for you without looking up his stats because you brought up Kirill Kaprizov. I'm going to do the same to Quinn Hughes. So you got to wait a second here for this. Okay. No, not for you, Rick. You're not allowed to answer because you're a Wild fan. You're not allowed to answer this. It's for Jacob. This is a question just for Jacob. Jacob, how many points? Okay. Can you tell me what Kirill Kaprizov's stats are how many points do you think on average he puts up in the playoffs every year? On average.
Honestly, I have absolutely no idea. I'm guessing.
No idea. Okay, I thought I'd ask you. Okay, do you want me to tell you? Do you want me to list out his stats? So in 25 games, overall, 21 points. So last year, he had 9 points in the series. He was their only offense. That top line was their only offense. Nobody else could do a single thing. Misses the playoffs after putting out 96 points. In 6 games the previous year, so in his 3rd year in the playoffs, 6 games, he had 1 goal. 1 singular goal. That's all he had. Mm-hmm. Again, Minnesota couldn't do anything. 7 games the previous year. 6 games the previous year had 8 points. 7 of them were goals. Fair enough. Very dominant run. First playoff series in 7 games. They have gone deep in he had 3 points. 3. Now, again, he's had 2 phenomenal runs, but he's had 2 duds of runs, and that has a lot to do. Now, that's not his fault necessarily, because the rest of his team has not been able to consistently create offense around him, of course. And that has a lot to do with the structure that Minnesota is built with, I think, at times. And, their lack of offensive ability outside of that top line. Rick, I hear you laughing because I'm probably wrong about that.
No, but it's somebody's comments that I'm seeing that people are posting.
We get some interesting comments in our streams.
I do think it is possible that they do go out and dominate Dallas. But like statistically, now Quinn Hughes has been to the playoffs twice. And he has gone 17 and 13 games. Now Quinn Hughes last season, or the last year he made the playoffs, he put up 10 points. All 10 were assists. And then he had 2 goals, 14 assists for 16 points in his second year, his first full season in the NHL. And he was a plus. It is possible, but I do want to point out neither player is exactly dominant. Now, I would say Dallas have struggled in the playoffs. That I will not deny. But I will say that I don't think Minnesota, given that they've added, I've said my part. I don't like the Quinn Hughes trade. I didn't like it because I didn't think it was necessary for Minnesota. I thought Minnesota had other issues. And I think the issues that I thought Minnesota needed to fix were valid reasons to think that I didn't think they could compete with the other two. I still think they can't compete with the other two because I don't think their issues are necessarily solved. I don't think they necessarily solve their depth scoring issues. And if they do it in the playoffs and they turn it up and they win, but I don't think that Minnesota will blow the doors off. I think it will be a very competitive but boring series. And it's going to be.
I told you it's a crazy take.
Jacob, let me finish. I said I think it will be if either team. I think it will be a boring series, a low-scoring, boring series because I don't think Minnesota haven't proven it to me yet that their offense is going to be. I don't think Dallas's offense is going to be as dynamite as it maybe has been. I don't think White Johnson's going to put up just start absolutely sniping goals all the time in the playoffs off the power play. And you know what? I just think Dallas will get more scoring from their depth. And that's just my opinion. And if Dallas, I could see Minnesota winning, but I don't see them blowing the doors off of Dallas.
Well, Dan always has the crazy takes, and I wanted a turn. But I also feel like the reason why for Minnesota is I look, and Minnesota said, we want a cup, so we're going to get the best possible player available. And there was nobody better available than Quinn Hughes. He is a difference maker. Look at and I hate saying this, but look at Team USA, 4 nations to the Olympics. What was the one major difference? Quinn Hughes. Yeah. Quinn Hughes is a guy that I think is a game breaker. You know, I talk about good players versus game breakers. Dallas added Michael Bunting. Minnesota added Quinn Hughes. I get you may argue Dallas has more depth, but you also have Jason Robertson who doesn't even want to be there. You have a goalie with zero confidence in the playoffs after what happened last year in Jake Ottinger. You have Wyatt Johnston, who, again, as you said, you don't know what he's going to do in the playoffs on the power play. And also, too, you don't even know how many power plays you're going to get because it's playoff hockey. I think this Minnesota team, if they can get good goaltending and Quinn Hughes and Kaprizov just go off, I could legitimately see them blowing the absolute doors off Dallas. Who wants a bologna sandwich?
Oh, yeah.
not only that, but you know who I think is going to be a dark horse for Minnesota in the playoffs? Vladimir Tarasenko.
Yes.
Oh, I totally forgot Tarasenko was on Minnesota.
Yeah, 100% agree.
Oh, wait, I want to look at this because I thought
don't say this to the Amazon Prime people because they love Matt Duchene. They want to marry Matt Duchene. Bork gets his first career hat trick. Player of the game, Matt Duchene.
I've never been a huge fan of him. I don't know why. Don't
forget to like the stream and keep your on the ice.
Yes,
but yes, always like the stream. Thank you very much for that.
That's a huge help. And if you're watching this and you're new, please subscribe to the channel.
Oh my gosh, to our channel. He's plugging again. But like, I looked at this at the deadline because I looked at Minnesota's player stats, and I think one big thing that jumped out to me was the huge difference in points between them and like everybody else. And I think that could be a concern still.
Probably think about Vaca.
But like when you look at like how deep this team is, you're just throwing random names out there. I just heard Holtby and I was like, what?
No, Ovi.
Oh, Ovi. Ovi's not even in the playoffs, so Ovi doesn't matter anymore.
The comment was, "What is Ovi thinking about? Dan's like vodka."
But I don't know. I just don't think. I think if that series is going to be a dud, it's going to be a dud because it's just a boring. It's going to be like a boring, low event series. If anything, I don't think one team's going to absolutely blow the doors off of the other. Boldy is an amazing player.
He is.
He is amazing.
I think Minnesota's a really good team. It sucks. Again, I don't want to get into a rant about it tonight, but the playoff
you are going to get into
sucks.
a rant about it, Jacob.
The playoff format sucks.
Everybody agrees with you, Jacob.
We have a question here. Does Hudson get a Norris nod? He'll be in the conversation.
No. Oh,
he
for sure, in my opinion,
yet. Hey, he's close. Wait,
what do you mean by Norris nod? Do you mean
nomination?
Do you think he's going to be okay? If you mean a finalist, no, not this year, because in my opinion, the top three, and I personally think Zach Rosinski should win it this year because I think he is hands and above the best player on Columbus, and he's a big reason Columbus was in the playoff race. I personally think it should go to Zach Rosinski. I think it's going to go to Cale Makar, though, because Cale Makar is absolutely ridiculous, and that first half of the season is going to carry that argument. But I think Quinn Hughes is going to be up there, and I think Lane Hudson's amazing talent, but I just think with the other, I'm not being a hater by saying that. This is all okay. Whatever.
Yeah.
You know what? I did tell him I was going to be a Hab hater. So you know what? It absolutely sucks. There you go. There's my Hab for you.
I do want to mention.
We talk about the Habs playoffs. I'm going to come in here and I'm going to absolutely tear into every player, no matter what happens. You know what? I take back saying that Nick Suzuki was a top 10 center just for you. I'll say that. I take that back. You know what? I was being nice, but yeah. But
I do want to mention,
I think not one of the better centers.
I do think maybe we are selling Lane Hudson a little short. I just looked up his stats.
Not really.
Okay.
No, but
78 points.
Hughes, Makar,
and 80.
And
hold on.
81
points, 78 points in 81 games, and he's a plus 37. 12 goals, 66 assists. I mean, now here's the $1 million question. Half the time in the NHL, the top defenseman points wins the Norris. So Evan Bouchard is going to win the Norris.
I don't think he should.
Evan Bouchard, 21 goals, 70 assists, 91 points. I've argued this should be the best offensive defenseman and then best defensive defenseman. Because you're looking at it in two different categories.
That's because you just want Jacob Slavin to have 1 million Norris trophies.
Because he's the best defensive defenseman in the NHL, and it's not even a debate.
Nobody's telling you that he's... But Jacob,
it's like how Cooper never wins Coach of the Year. Just because the way the award's set up.
Okay, Jacob, you should no longer be allowed to talk about the Norris because you just go into a big rant. I got to cut you off because you're going to go into a big rant.
I mean, Lane isn't here to yell about Darren Radish tonight, although Lane, if you're in the comment section, put Darren Radish, no capitals.
I don't think saying that Lane Hudson's not going to be a top 3 Norris candidate is not selling Lane Hudson short. That's just speaking like Evan Bouchard. I forgot about Evan Bouchard. Do I think Evan Bouchard should win the Norris? No, not personally. But he will be up there. But Lane Hudson, arguably, because you could say anybody else is the 5th best defenseman in the NHL. I think the other 4, so that's Rosinski, Bouchard, Makar, and Hughes, are all just a level above Lane Hudson. Now that could be debatable if you want to debate about that. But I do think those 4 or 5 are a level above what Lane Hudson is right now. And that's nothing against Lane Hudson. Lane Hudson being, 4, but Lane Hudson being 5, the 5th best defenseman in hockey. Talking about the other 4, and you put him into the other conversation with the other 4, that shows just how good he is second year into the NHL. I think there's a different level of the other 4 go to that Lane Hudson just hasn't reached yet.
This is an interesting comment. Kind of brings back to what I'm saying. The Bobby Orr trophy should be the equivalent of the Market Richard for D-men.
The top goal scorer then is what you mean.
Either top goal scorer or top points, but that's an interesting take.
I like that.
Yeah, but if you want to be accurate, it's going to be accurate that it would be the Art Ross it would be the equivalent to, not the Maurice Richard.
I am curious, so Dan, I'll go to you here. What do you think about Lane Hudson for the Norris?
I think he's definitely in the conversation. I mean, I think he should finish the top 3. I'll tell you why. Because he made such a drastic difference to a Montreal Canadian team. And you talk about the best defenseman, I think part of that is making a difference for your team. And not just the fact, take his stats away. The fact he's doing all of this in just his second year is unbelievable. I mean, usually people have a sophomore slump, right? Not this guy. So you got Quinn Hughes, you got Evan Bouchard. Okay, maybe it's hard playing him in top 3, but I think he's definitely in top 5, top 10. So depending, the people who make the nominees are like journalists, right? So depending if it's like French journalists out there, journalists who watch all the Habs games, and I think to appreciate someone like Lane Hudson, I think you have to watch all the games. I don't think you just sit there and look at his stats, right? You like you said, James, a plus 37. I don't really want Jacob Swayman's amazing defensively, but Lane Hudson has a humongous plus-minus rating and is almost a point-and-play guy and has double digits in goals. How can you ignore that?
But, but Dan, who's your top 3? Who's your top 3 Norris candidates? Sorry, Jacob.
It's okay.
But who's your top 3 in the Norris then?
Well, I think Quinn Hughes would win it personally. Bawinski and Evan Bouchard.
Okay, I got to stop everyone here, though. And, Rick, then I do want to get your point on this. Evan Bouchard for Defenseman of the Year is like saying Alexander Ovechkin should win the best two-way forward. I'm sorry. Bouchard is a forward who plays at the back end. He is not the best defenseman in the NHL. Shake your head all you want. I can bring up 1,000 clips to back me up what I'm saying.
Rant, Jacob, you're going on a rant. That's why I'm doing this, because you're going on a bloody rant again.
Evan Bouchard is either the best player on the ice or the worst player on the ice. Consistency has to matter in this. And to say that Evan Bouchard is better than Quinn Hughes and Lane Hudson and Cale Makar, I don't know what you're on, but give it to me because I need it.
You're the one who brought it back. You're the one who brought it. Wait, I
brought him up because I said the way the NHL does it is whoever gets the most points wins the Norris. And I hate it.
I didn't even have him in my top 3.
Jacob, clean win. Let's go.
Jacob, you're the one who brought it in. You're the one who put it into Dan's head. So this is on you.
No, but what I said is, unfortunately, the NHL just gives it to whoever gets the most points.
Full screen win, Jacob.
And at the end of the day, thank you. I appreciate the support. Usually everyone's ripping me in here. But Evan Bouchard winning the Norris is like saying Ovechkin is a two-way forward. He's not. I think to win the Norris, you actually have to be good at defense. Which Werenski, Lane Hudson, Makar,
both ways.
This is going to be absolutely crazy. If Darren Radish didn't get injured, he might be in this conversation a little bit. Phenomenal year from Darren Radish. Yeah. 22 goals, 48 assists, plus 22. Phenomenal year from Darren Radish.
Crazy.
But Jacob,
I think for me, Lane Hudson would not win the Norris, but he's in my top 5. I think he'll get some votes. But Rick, I'm curious on your thoughts on this, Rick. I've seen some facial expressions. Now you're in deep thought. Are you on my side on the Evan Bouchard? Your mic is not on. We need your mic. We need the power of audio.
You can't give me the Jacob. Oh,
no, but Jake.
And the power of music. We actually do work tomorrow, JP. We're just nuts. We got to wrap up the show soon.
No.
Oh, yeah. I got a 9 a.m. thing, bro. 9 a.m.
Okay, Rick, is your mic... Oh, Rick, your mic's still not working.
Well, only time you guys are here, we try to do as much as we can for you. You guys are awesome.
Cream cheese.
Thank you.
So, first off, I work at 8 o'clock in the morning, so I can care less. I sit there and talk to Americans, so I'm okay. Looking at the HL stats, you guys are talking about 90 points, 130. The top point getter in the HL has 77.
That's crazy. 77.
But they also play 10 less games, though.
Yeah, that's true.
Wow. No.
What about 77?
That's the top point getter in the AHL this year.
Wow. Crazy.
Anyway, Jacob, you're going to ask me.
So, Rick, I am asking you though. Number one, who's your pick for the Norris? He's in deep thought.
I thought it was going to be right away Quinn Hughes, but...
Rick from Hamilton Sports Central, the time is now to give us the answer.
Jacob, let him think.
And any does it have to be a specific order or no?
No.
Just your top defenseman.
You can call me crazy. I'm not saying he will get top defenseman. I'm going to go bold. I'm going to say he's going to get probably 10 votes, whatnot. Even though he didn't. He's still in the top 15 of point defensemen. Matthew Schaefer.
Whoa!
He won't win it, but he'll be in the conversation.
He won't win it, but he'll still get some votes.
Matthew Schaefer this year as a rookie, 23 goals, 36 assists, 59 points, and a plus 14.
As a first overall draft pick.
That's nuts. As an 18-year-old.
And a number one D-man playing 24 plus minutes a night.
That too.
Insane what he's done. But it'll be, once we get closer to the award show, we will do our own Analyst Desk awards. We did it for the CFL. We'll do it for the NHL. And it'll be great. But I will say, like, even as much as like Werenski, Hudson, Hughes, even as much as I don't agree with Bouchard, Makar, it really does show how good there are so many talented defensemen in the NHL right now. And it is an interesting point in the comments made about Werenski, great year, but the team missed the playoffs. I don't know if that really makes a difference for the Norris. I would say for the MVP it does, because I don't think you can be the most valuable player in the league and not make the playoffs. Like I said, if the San Jose Sharks make the playoffs, I would have said that Matthew Schaefer and or Macklin Celebrini, if one of those teams made the playoffs, you could have argued for them for the Hart. I really think you could have. They wouldn't have got it, but I would have argued it because I would have said, put those players out of those teams, and they are absolutely terrible.
I'm gonna use a different sports reference for this, but to kind of back that up, you could say the same thing about Bo Levi Mitchell last year, where he had outstanding numbers. We didn't make the playoffs, and he never got considered. This year, put outstanding numbers, made the finalists. And I still say he should have won, but that's just rant for the other. Adam, I'm still waiting for your breaking news, by the way.
Yeah,
it's only been
Jacob
like an hour.
doesn't let me do it. I'm supposed to like say something, but I don't even know. Like, oh, Jacob, am I supposed to do it now?
Go, catch
That's why you're full screen.
Oh my god. Okay, well, you gotta tell. Okay, so well, for Jacob knows how much I hate being full screen too. Now it's just awkward. All right, but for the playoffs, so for everybody who wants to see my ridiculous playoff bracket, because that's what it's going to be. It's going to be absolutely ridiculous. Us here at the Analyst Desk, we're going to have our very own bracket challenge league, so everybody can join us and they can make their own bracket when the bracket challenge opens in 2 days or whatever it is. And you could join us and face up against us in terms of our brackets. And yeah, breaking right there, right, Jacob? Is that what I was supposed to bring?
Exactly. So to piggyback on full scream Adam, what we're going to do, we are going to have a bracket challenge with the Analyst Desk. So all of us are going to put together our own brackets. We're going to do a show, and then you guys can send us your brackets, and we'll see who wins. We'll have to come up with an award of what you get. Maybe it's an autographed picture of Rick holding a picture of Rick, holding a picture of Rick, holding a picture of Rick.
I will say
Rick, holding a picture of Dan, holding a picture of Dan, holding a picture of Dan, that's holding a picture of Adam.
Oh my gosh.
Holding a picture of Adam, that's holding a picture of Adam, that's holding a picture of Lane, that's holding a picture of Lane, that's holding a picture of me, and then me, and then me, holding a picture.
I just want to mention one thing. The worst Minnesota Wild player to ever don a Minnesota Wild jersey?
Alexander Digg. Oh, Havelock.
First off, Alexander Daigle played for the Ottawa Senators, not Minnesota. Oh, yeah, he did. Never mind.
He did for a tiny bit.
He was still garbage, though.
I know. I was going to say,
Martin Havlat was overrated.
Yeah, yes, sir.
Yeah.
How players going to be all over NHL?
Really not. But okay. Why would I really care if they do? You know.
But as much as we love everyone here, I think it is time we wrap up for the night. We've been on for 2 hours and 40 minutes.
Love is a strong word, Jacob.
But don't go chasing waterfalls.
Somehow I just appeared out of nowhere for tonight.
But Rick, we always appreciate when you appear out of nowhere. You are Dan's favorite Hamilton Ticats fan.
So, okay, one last thing I want to say, Adam. If you go check your Facebook, I sent you that video.
Yes, I saw that. I will check it out after.
Have a good night, Ontario Secret.
Night.
Thank you very much, everyone, for joining us at the Analyst Desk. We appreciate all the likes, the comments, the shares. We had just between our platforms over 100 comments tonight, which is absolutely phenomenal. Also, there are some shorts that have been posted up tonight, and that will be up over the next couple of days. So make sure to stay locked in to our social media. So we appreciate everything you guys do. Thank you very much. With over 20 likes between the platforms tonight again. Thank you very much, guys. We really appreciate it.
Thank you. And the new subscriber tonight.
And the new subscriber who subscribed to the channel. I'm the self-proclaimed sports analyst, joined by Mr. More for Your Money.
Woo!
Adam the GOAT. Rick from Hamilton.
Who gets bitten by goats? A fun fact.
Bitten by goats.
Adam would say.
Yes.
Lane Dashco, who joined us in the comment section and joined us quickly on air
from his mom's house.
At his mom's house, which is located
dedication, bro.
Everyone lives at Adam's basement. Have a great night, everyone. We'll see you on the flip side.
Bye-bye.
It's the Analyst Desk. Welcome to the show. It's the Analyst Desk. Yeah, in case you didn't know, it's the Analyst Desk. Welcome to the show where every day feels like game day, bro.